Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to the United Stand. It's Manchester United versus Tottenham. And I don't know why I'm talking like I'm forcing a poo out. Because I'm excited, that's why. I'm very much looking forward to this game, you know. I am. I'm very much looking forward to it. I hope you are as well. We've got a little bit of early team news coming out for you, which I think many of you probably picked up on. I do not think that Spurs are going to destroy Manchester United XD. I think you should take a back seat and stop predicting things you've got no control over just to be controversial. Leave that to me. I think that this game has probably got I'm now a Dalek. I think that tonight has got 1-0, 0-0 written all over it, to be honest with you. That's what I think it's got. I don't think it's got many goals in it. You can never say never in football. But, yeah, I don't think it's got a lot of goals written on it. You've got a counter-attacking Spurs side against a counter-attacking Manchester United side. That's, I think, what we've got. I mean, there is a bit of early team news coming out that Manchester United's game has not been delayed, Mitter. It was always kicking off at 8:15 p.m. UK time. So, there. Yeah, we're waiting for the team to come in now. I think it will be coming in the next couple of minutes. You might notice I'm being a bit of a prat. I've actually been filming for the last 2 days, which is why I've not been doing the morning show or the afternoon show. I've actually been on set for the last couple of days. You know, utilising my theatrical skills, and I'm very much still in the groove, so you might get theatrical bridge tonight, you know, because I actually can be called a paid actor on this show today, because I have been a paid actor for the last couple of days, but I'm not cranky. Max, I'm in a very good mood. You don't know me very well, Max, do you? Tell Max to sit down. He thinks I'm cranky, Bridge. He ain't got a bloody clue. Team news has been sort of leaked that it's the same team that started against Newcastle, with Rashford coming in for Ronaldo. So that would make it De Gea, Dalot, Varane, Martinez, Luke Shaw, Casemiro, Fred, Bruno, Sancho, Rashford, and then Anthony. That would make it very interesting, because it means that Christian Eriksen has failed a late fitness test, because we know he was going to do a late fitness test. So, yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of rumours flowing around. Shad says that Ronaldo's actually starting. Nathan Allen says, I rewatched the charity match, and to be honest, you actually should be a manager to be like you. We're actually really good and do a better job than Prattgate. Thanks, Nathan. Thanks very much for that. You know, compliments will go down well. But yeah, look, Scooby-Doo, says Mo. I do not understand why Fred would start this game, because if Eriksen's out, you start McTominay. So I don't understand the Fred thing. The Rashford thing, I actually predicted that he would pick Rashford over Ronaldo. Well, I have my say on that when we've actually got the team news coming out. But it doesn't surprise me. Is what I would say. Good evening, Mark. Hope you're doing well. I think this could go either way tonight. A lot of attacking talent on both sides, but think we're going to edge it. 2-1, says Rob. Yeah, I'm going to go with the United win. No team news is going to deprive me of that prediction. Not at all. I do think Manchester United will win this game. So yeah, I'm very much of the opinion that Man United will win it, because we've got a good defence, really. Not because we're scoring goals, but because we've got a good defence. So the team news is out. Starting lineup does have Fred in it, and does have Rashford in it. So Ronaldo's on the bench, McTominay's on the bench, and Eriksen is on the bench as well. Fred starts, and yeah, so that league team was true. Fred starts, Ronaldo dropped. I mean, for me, I am 100% behind Erik ten Hag, as many of you know. And that itching of my nose was nothing to do with me lying. I actually am. But I cannot get that. I you know, answers on a postcard, really. I cannot get that. I don't understand that. I really don't understand that. How do you drop Ronaldo and keep Fred in the team? It's like it's like punishing one player but not punishing the worst player when you've got another option. I mean, I don't think Eriksen's probably fit enough to start, but Scott McTominay was suspended, so why would you not do that at the end of the day? So we've got the Spurs team out. That's not the team I want to show you. I want to show you the Manchester United team. That's the team I want to show you there. I'm going to show you the Man United team. There it is, up on the screen for you. So as you can see, Marcus Rashford leading the line and Fred in the midfield. So look, I still think United will win the game. I think there's a lot to get our teeth into straight away. So get your comments in. You can do your super chats if you want to join them, be a the members club and have a badge like Abdiwell says, Fred starting is not rewarding, it's tactical. He kept Bruno Guimaraes quiet, says Abdiwell. Mate, he was fucking shit on Sunday. I'm sorry, you can't polish a turd, and Fred was shit on Sunday. Call it as it is. Let's not try and rewrite history. It's like trying to say that the new Star Wars trilogy is good. It was shit when you first watched it, and if you watch it back again, it's even worse. Fred was crap on Sunday. End of. If Ten Hag wants to pick him and give him another chance, that's fine. But let's not pretend that Fred played well on Sunday. He was shit. And for me, Eriksen's not fit to start because he would have started. So it's a choice between Fred and McTominay. And I would go McTominay every day of the week. I think Fred, on that first half performance, does not deserve to start for United tonight. He's a very, very lucky Fred. He's a very, very lucky Fred. But you know what's interesting? There is actually a similarity here because Conte does this with another Brazilian. Well, I think he's a Brazilian. I mean, realistically, immigration control should be checking out the passports at Brazil for Fred and Emerson because I don't know whether they look like Brazilian footballers when they're on the pitch, kicking the ball with their feet, but they've definitely got the passports. But Fred is a player that Rangnick liked, and Fred is a player that Ten Hag likes, and Emerson Royale is a player that Conte likes, and Spurs fans basically have the same thing as us. Got to trust the manager. Conte's got them in the Champions League and has them in the Champions League spot now. Erik Ten Hag is our manager. You've got to trust him on this. So, of course, I don't agree with it, but Rangnick really liked Fred as well. So, it is what it is. I still think we'll win. Mark, my mate, says, my touch is like Fred, says Mikael Roach. Trampoline toes then. The only defensive Fred choice is probably McTominay and Casemiro is too defensive, says Summerjit. And Mark, win for me. Spurs lose or Goldbridge meltdown, says Zane. I don't feel like having a meltdown today. I'm done with this hypocrite Erik Ten Hag and his bias already, says MWK. And so Højbjerg, Basuma, Bentancur versus Fred, Casemiro and Bruno. I don't want to see Bruno playing as number 9. This is a midfield battle, says B. Yakov. I think it's a really exciting game, and I'm not going to get dragged down by the arguments about the team. I'm quite excited about this game of football, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be really intriguing. I think we're going to learn a lot about what Manchester United is about over the next couple of games. So there you can see the Spurs lineup on the screen there. That's how Spurs are going to be lining up in this game, funnily enough, because that's the team sheet that Conte has submitted. It is quite interesting. I've got to say, I'm quite interested by Spurs' lineup. Obviously, they haven't got Richarlison and they haven't got Kulusevski. They're both injured. So instead of going with his traditional front three, he's gone with Son and Kane. And he's sort of adapted his team a little bit. So Lloris, Doherty, Romero, Dyer, Davies, Perisic. And then he's gone with that midfield three of Bentancur, Basuma, Højbjerg, and then Son and Kane. They don't have a lot of attacking options, Spurs. Longley, Mora, Tanganga, Spence, Forster, Sessegnon, Gill, Sanchez. They don't have a lot of attacking options in that team. So I think this Spurs side is really intriguing because I don't know how they approach the game other than counter-attack, which is what I expected anyway. So the onus is on United to try and get hold of the ball, but we don't really have anybody to get hold of the ball. I think it's really interesting. Hi, Mark. In your honest opinion, do you think Williams could make a comeback under Ten Hag? He already has Prem experience, so we could definitely use him. I think he would get game time, Mark. I don't rate him massively, but I think he could get game time. Ben says that Fred is a shambles of a player. Don't get me wrong, McTominay isn't great, but Fred 100% caused the majority of the issues in that midfield. How is he saying Ronaldo needs to show him he should play more and then starts Fred after that atrocious performance? Is Scott highlighting hypocrisy there maybe from Ten Hag? Soam says, I know you like inverted wingers, but I feel because of that winger can't put early crosses as Anthony every time has to bring the ball on his left foot. Lots of interesting points being raised here. Also, we've had a super chat from Mark who says, and we've done that one from Mark, he was talking about Brandon Williams. Scott says, we've done that one from Scott as well. Hi Mark, I think this game will be quite open because Conte basically playing man-to-man. If we lose it will be because of the midfield, says Mo. Bruno will play up like a number 9 because Rashford is starting up top and needs the help. Free Ronaldo, says Joseph. How are we going to score, says Dougie. Well, I think that... Carl says, hi Mark, I would have started McTominay over Fred, but I think he's looking to recreate the last 20 minutes with Rashford's pace. But what did we do in that last 20 minutes, mate? What did we do in the last 20 minutes with Rashford's pace? Like, I'm intrigued by this. I'm excited by this because this is why we bought Erik Ten Hag. This is why I wanted Erik Ten Hag, because he is a very, very good coach. And I know people don't want to acknowledge that sometimes, but he is a very good coach. Is he a naive coach? Is he used to the Premier League? We will find out. But and I think many other people, when you're playing against Spurs back five, and Conte is openly saying yesterday, look, we only lost last time because of Ronaldo. We would have won if Ronaldo didn't play. And then we bench Ronaldo. That's a very big message from Ten Hag. Whether you like it or not, Ten Hag is saying, I don't need Ronaldo. That's what he's doing. I mean, Martial's injured, not even on the bench. Ronaldo is not in the team, and he's playing Marcus Rashford up through the middle, who is not a striker. I want to get proven wrong on this, and maybe Rashford thinks he's a striker, and maybe Ten Hag thinks he's a striker. But we've been watching Rashford at United a lot longer than Eric has, and I don't believe he's a striker. I think he's a wide player who needs to face the goal, not have his back to goal. And you talk about crosses into the box. What's the point in putting crosses into the box tonight? Why would you bother putting crosses into the box tonight? I don't, people talk about overlaps and, yeah, let's whip some crosses into the box, but I don't see the point. If Delo overlaps past Anthony tonight and whips a cross in, you're up against Romero, Dyer, and then Rashford. Even if he wins it, he's not very good in the air, as we saw at the weekend. So how we approach this game is massively exciting, because I don't see how we're going to create chances logically. We can't put crosses into the box. We're not going to get in behind Spurs, because I don't think they'll play a high line. So how does Marcus Rashford work as a quick striker who's not very physical and not very good in the air? How do we create chances for Marcus Rashford? I think that's going to be really interesting, because you could use that as a negative, but I take it as a positive, because Eric Ten Hag knows this. He knows Spurs aren't going to get caught on the break, so pace won't matter. And he also knows we can't whip crosses into the box. So he must have a plan. He must have a plan. And this, for me, is why I think we'll win 1-0, because I think there'll be a penalty, a free kick, a header. There'll be one moment that wins us the game, because I believe our defence is underrated. Because it got smashed by Man City, people think we've got a vulnerable defence. I don't think we have got a vulnerable defence. I think we've got a good defence. We've only conceded, if you count Liverpool, 1 goal, Arsenal, 1 goal, nothing against Southampton, nothing against Leicester, 1 goal against Everton, and no goals against Newcastle. We've conceded 3 goals in 6 games if you take the Man City game out of it. So our defence is more than capable. Welcome to the Members Club, Arik. Thank you very much for joining. Once again, I think Ten Hag's got it wrong. So Stewart, it is going to eventually cost him his job. And last 20, Fred open net from Rashford run and Rashford header. Best chances we had. What am I missing, says Carl. Rashford was offside on the Fred chance, and the header, well, that's got nothing to do with Marcus Rashford, is it? That's a cross into the box that Ronaldo would have scored. What I'm saying is, you're talking like Rashford coming on in the last 20 minutes changed the game. I don't think it did. We had one chance where Rashford was actually offside, and then the other one's a cross that he missed. So I didn't see this genius Rashford last 20 minutes that people are talking about. I didn't. I thought I saw I tell you what I did see. I saw Newcastle centre-back sat on a sofa with their slippers on and a pipe. Yeah, I saw that. I didn't see them really worried. People will blame Glazers for Eric Ten Hag's tactical error, says MWK. Look, we've not even played a game of football yet. You know I'm going to be defensive of Ten Hag, but we've not even kicked the game. The game's not kicked off yet. Pressing starts from the front and Ronaldo struggles to press. Feel this is a longer term thinking from Eric Ten Hag. Yeah, but you know what, Caleb? Rashford can't press. I'm not even the one who tells you this. Rashford doesn't press from the front. He runs, he sprints, but he doesn't press. We don't press from the front. It's tiring, but valid, that people talk about Ronaldo's lack of pressing, but we don't press. One person is not what a press is all about. I don't know what planet people think they're living on about pressing, but pressing is the whole team, you know. A press starts with the whole team. Bruno's a prime example of someone who presses and doesn't do it as a team player, and it becomes very disjointed. So look, let's see how well Rashford presses from the front. I know De Gea's talked about that energy. I just think that oh God, I can't say it. Ricky's just baffled by the team. I can't repeat what Ricky has said in his WhatsApp, but he's not happy with the team. Mark, I see him going in January now, sadly, says Tumbleweed. I'm not here to... Well, I suppose we are to get in the strikers debate. Can I just say, we're very close to 510,000. We're only about 300 away, so please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Chris says, I'm so sick of the lack of pressing nonsense used as an excuse. It's comical. The reason Man City are so successful is because they don't have online fans to whinge at every decision the manager makes, as United 95. That's the biggest load of bollocks I've ever heard. So United aren't, so basically, if we have a fan on Twitter who says United is shit, United is shit, United is shit, that's why we're shit. I might try that the other way around. I wish I was rich. I wish I was rich. I wish I was rich. Oh, I'm rich now. What a load of bollocks. If Bruno is going to play as a false nine tonight, Casemiro and Fred need to be switched on for the counter. Ronaldo needs to come on earlier than 85 minutes. I'll tell you what, Anthony, Goldbridge ball could be about to get another boost. I did my combined 11 on the preview, and I put Basuma in it. And even Spurs fans and many United fans were going, you're talking out your arse. And I said, I would take Basuma over any of Spurs midfielders. Granted, it's because of what I saw him do at Brighton, but I think Basuma's better than Højbjerg and Bentancur, and I'd love him at Man United. It worries me a little bit that he's playing tonight, because if Bentancur runs that midfield, I'm going to look right, but they're going to win the game. So we need to see a stinking game from Basuma tonight, because he normally plays very, very well against Bruno Fernandes. The reason Man City, we've done that one. Mark, do you think Erik Ten Hag is playing Fred to decide if he's not going to renew his contract? Well, it's a dangerous play. No, Alejandro. Basically, no. You don't play players to see if you're going to give them a contract in a game where if you lose, you're under pressure. I'd rather see Ronaldo on a Real Madrid bench than a United bench, says Unruly. Hi, Mark. We need to see Eriksen and Ronaldo in the second half, says AJ. Welcome to the Members Club, Unruly. I mean, look, funnily enough, I got a message from someone this morning and they said, what's your score prediction for tonight? And do you think Ronaldo will start? And I said, I think Man United will win 1-0, and I don't think Ronaldo will start. I would have started Ronaldo. I mean, I'll tell you why I would have started Ronaldo very, very quickly, because he's good in the air, he's physical, and we're up against 3 centre-backs. I don't think Rashford can deal with 2 centre-backs. What did Rashford do against bloody Johnny Evans and the other donkey at Leicester? Nothing. Like, I don't know. I'm intrigued and excited to see how Rashford's going to work against 3 centre-backs, but maybe Spurs are going to play expansive football. I don't know. I would have played Ronaldo because when you get up the pitch, he is a player that you can whip a cross into, although we don't do it, so, in a way, I'm glad Ronaldo's on the bench, because when we don't score, people can't say it's because of Ronaldo. So, give Rashford another chance, I say. Just think this massive boost, Ronaldo not starting, gives Spurs. I don't understand Erik Ten Hag on this. Can't he see Ronaldo is getting no service, says Majek. I played at a very low level, says Glenn. I know people that were great in training but couldn't do it under pressure with the crowd watching. I bet Fred is like this, says Glenn. No, you're spot on, Glenn. And, I've spoke to loads of players like that. In fact, Paul Ince said it on the show last year. Some players are absolutely world-class in training and then terrible on the pitch. Hi, Mark. We can't get overrun in the midfield. Bruno will have to drop more, otherwise we lose the game, says Pally. Mark, Erik Ten Hag was linked with the Spurs before we signed him, but they didn't go for him. Erik Ten Hag will go for it to show that they missed out on him, says Ahmad. Look, on the striking situation, I've got to say, whoever your favourite is, whether it's Martial, Ronaldo and Rashford, whoever your favourite choice is out of those 3, I don't think there's a United fan that wouldn't disagree with what I'm about to say. We've got 3 big names, but they're all flawed. Ronaldo is 37 and, doesn't really want to be here. And you could argue Ten Hag doesn't want him to be here. So, that's that's probably the biggest negative of all. The fact that this Ronaldo thing has just been handled terribly by the Glazers. Like, Ronaldo should have been let go and we should have bought Gakpo. I was listening to what was on the show this morning with Beth about how Gakpo thought he was coming to United. I mean, that was simple. You buy Gakpo, you sell Ronaldo, and the Glazers said no. So I have sympathy for Ronaldo and I have sympathy for Ten Hag. And it's damaging our season now because there's clearly a lack of trust between the player and the manager, which is why Ronaldo's on the bench. So we've got a very good striker who is out of favour and probably doesn't want to be here. And his manager probably doesn't want him to be here. You've got Anthony Martial, who's always injured. And then you've got Marcus Rashford, who I just don't think is a striker. Or we're trying to teach him the role in the middle of a season. So we've got 3 big names there, Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial and Cristiano Ronaldo, but all 3 of them have major flaws. One's injured, one's not a striker and trying to learn it, and one sort of fell out with the manager. So 3 big names, 3 big problems. And I think it's very difficult when you look at your opposition and you go, well, they've got Harry Kane. Oh, they've got Erling Haaland. Stability. We don't have that in the number 9 shirt at the moment. I hope we're going to win tonight, but I am not sure about not playing Ronaldo tonight and using Fred, says Andreas J. I don't think the Ronaldo thing really bothers me that much. I'm not surprised by it. I would have started him, but the manager has to manage. I'm really not throwing my toys out the pram about it. I think a lot of people will, and I'm not saying that they're wrong. There'll be a lot of ex-players who've said it once before who will say it's disrespectful. You know, Roy Keane said it. I think Rio Ferdinand said it, and I'm not saying that they're wrong. They will be baffled. I'm sure Sir Alex Ferguson will be baffled, but I don't agree with it. I'm not shocked by it. But the one that really gets to me, and JT says, "Hi Mark, hope you're well. I'm going with 3-2 to United." Thank you very much, JT. Dan Barles, welcome to the members club. Sneeze, sorry Dan. And hi Mark, not sure why we don't play Casemiro and McTominay. I think some of McTominay's best aspects are more of a box-to-box player anyway, says Mackenzie. Yeah, and I think that love from Australia, says Speedy, love right straight back at you. I do agree with that. I think my biggest observation, I suppose, because I am excited about the game and I still think we can win it. My biggest observation about the game is that Fred is starting. I know Ronaldo not starting is big news, but Ronaldo, I mean, I just don't think Ten Hag and Ronaldo really see eye to eye at the moment, so it's not a surprise. But Fred was crap on Sunday and McTominay is fit. So Eriksen's obviously not fully fit. I understand that, but Fred starting, I mean, look, I suppose the positive is Fred can't play as bad as he did at the weekend. It's impossible. He cannot put in a first half like he did against Newcastle. It would be physically impossible for him to do it. Like, he was getting knocked off the ball. He was crap. So things can only get better for Fred. I think Ten Hag may not trust Rashford as a sub, says Juan. How is Fred getting back in the team? Eriksen should be starting, says TJ. Thank you very much, TJ. Well, no, I mean, I think that if we're absolutely honest, it's very, very difficult to sort of throw Fred into, not Fred. It's very, very difficult to say that... I forgot what I was going to say. Just move on. Ten Hag said Ronaldo will come on, says Lucy. Yeah, I just want to check out on that as well. Kieran, thank you very much. Scott is not a starter and he's a very limited player, says Sadiq. I mean, one of the big things for me, I suppose, is that yet again, and there's nothing we can do about it, and it's not really a surprise, but yet again, it's another example of why if Donny van der Beek had managed to stay fit, it would have been, a really good alternative. I mean, Fazil makes a good point. He says, what does the manager see in Fred? But Rangnick saw it. Ollie saw it. And that makes you sort of want to go, well, look, they're better minds than me, Rangnick, Ollie and Ten Hag. But then you go, but are they? Because we watch them every week, and it's not like they have one bad game in 10. They have one good game in 10. Hi, Mark. Do you have any tips on watching football and analysing games? Also love the watch-alongs, mate, says Noah. I don't know. I think you're at the way you analyse football is very unique to you. I mean, the way I'll be analysing this game as a little hint is what I'm looking at is how we are trying to create chances. Because one thing you do realise with Ten Hag or Pep or Klopp or Potter or even Allardyce or anybody who plays long ball is you can figure out in the first 5 minutes normally what the intent, or maybe not 5, but certainly 10, 15 minutes, you can figure out what the plan is to score goals. Are you sitting deep, soaking pressure and looking to break? Are you looking to get up the pitch and dominate the ball in possession? Are you looking to get crosses into the box and bodies in the box to get onto that? Are you looking to play, intricate little pass and movements to, pull people out of position? Are you looking to have the ball and then have decoy runs that create space for others? So I'm very interested to see what Ten Hag's plan is, because most of the feedback from the game on Sunday was that he was quite happy with the way that we played. And you've got to take a hint from that the way that he's picked his team tonight, he must have been relatively happy with how we played, because he's picked pretty much the same team apart from Ronaldo for Rashford. So, yeah. Haaland doesn't press much, but Pep loves him. Haaland doesn't press at all, mate. Major, you're absolutely spot on there. I've lost respect for this team, the way they handled Ronaldo, says Joseph. And hi, Mark. Been watching from Chicago for a while now. I'm graduating university soon with a digital marketing degree. Was wondering if I could intern for you at the United Stand. Go Red, says Dan. If you're in Manchester, mate, drop us your CV. how is he saying Ronaldo needs to show? I've done that one from Scott. Ronaldo has been benched since our wingers can't cross and he doesn't stay in the box, says Michael. Yeah, you know, and I can't argue with that. Michael, I can't argue with that. I mean, I've got Ronaldo on here. I don't know. Maybe in the second half we'll be getting Sue, get your shoes on. But I can't argue with that. I think you make a very good point, Michael. We do not put crosses into the box. I know not everybody watches every video, so I'll repeat myself here. Manchester City are a tiki-taka passing side. I've despaired at Pep Guardiola in the past for his lack of desire to whip a cross into the box. And yet, this season, he buys a penalty box striker and they're putting 20 crosses per 90 into the box. 20 crosses per 90 going into the box for Man City this season with about 40% accuracy on those crosses. Manchester United are 12 crosses per 90 with 28% accuracy. Pitiful. Pitiful. So what Michael says is true. Why pick Ronaldo when we're not putting crosses into the box? And Ronaldo isn't staying in the box because he's getting frustrated. Historians will be confused by these past 3 years seeing Fred getting this many games. The only difference between Fred and me is that he runs, says Shahin. And Eric Ten Hag said he planned with Ronaldo. I don't think so. Every other player's play crap, gets plenty of chances, but not Ronaldo, says Raj. I pretty much know what happened with the Ronaldo situation, actually. Yeah, let me just read you the bench. One goalkeeper on the bench, it's Heaton. So, I mean, that's interesting in itself, isn't it? Because Dubravka's not injured. So Tom Heaton's the reserve goalie, even though we brought Dubravka in. I mean, that's a weird one as well, isn't it? Unless Dubravka's injured again. The Dubravka one is really weird because he's basically been brought in as a third choice keeper. Anyway, Heaton, Lindelof, Malacia, Ericsson, McTominay, Pellistri, Elanga, Garnacho, Ronaldo. That's our bench. So obviously we've got no Maguire back yet, no Wan-Bissaka. But it's Lindelof, Malacia, Ericsson, McTominay, Pellistri, Elanga, Garnacho and Ronaldo as our outfield players tonight. So yeah, that's where we're at with that. But yeah, the Ronaldo situation is quite interesting. I feel that it's quite easy to read actually. So basically, when Ten Hag took the job, he was very, very excited with having Ronaldo. In fact, I don't want to dwell on this too much. Let me speed up my voice a little bit. So basically, when Ten Hag got the Man United job, he was very excited to work with Cristiano Ronaldo. Ronaldo had just scored 18 Premier League goals in the worst Man United side that's played in the Premier League. And he was like, oh my God, if I've got a number 9 that can score 18 goals in a shit side, imagine what he can do for me. 18 goals for any striker, forget the name, 18 goals in the Premier League and you're the manager, you're like, yes. If you've got a number 9 that can get you 18 Premier League goals, you're well away. So Ten Hag was very excited about Ronaldo, and that came across in his early interviews. Ronaldo then wasn't happy with what Manchester United were doing and the structure and the signings, and said he wanted to leave. Then there was, obviously, he didn't go on pre-season, which apparently was nothing to do with that, but, the truth never came out, so we don't know. And Ten Hag started to plan without Ronaldo, thinking that Ronaldo would leave, and then the Glazers wouldn't let Ronaldo go. So the Glazers pissed off Ronaldo and Ten Hag, and we're now in this situation where Ten Hag is the sort of manager that has morals and pride and wasn't happy that Ronaldo wanted to go, lost the excitement of having Ronaldo, and now Ronaldo's stuck in a position where he's got to stay as well. So for me, the Ronaldo-Ten Hag relationship was destroyed by the Glazers, really, because they wouldn't let him go and he needed to be let go. And now we've got a number 9 that really should be starting, but the relationship with Ten Hag is just not... Look, whether they get on or not, and I don't think they don't get on, but look, Ronaldo should be the first name on the sheet, really, and he's very far from that, as we've seen tonight. Right decision not to start Ronaldo, says Aram. He just doesn't deserve a start on form. Important for us as fans not to make a whole Ronaldo saga every week. The only problem with that, Aram, is, and I'll say it before the chat does, Ronaldo doesn't deserve a start on form, but Fred's starting. And that's that's all you need to say. why is McTominay not starting in Fred instead of Fred? So, you know, hi Mark, thanks so much for what you and the United Stand do, says Justin. You've been a major help to my mental health and bringing a smile to my face every day. Thank you. Thank you, Justin, and thank you very much for watching. I hope you're doing well, pal. Have you got the stats for crosses at Ajax under Erik Ten Hag last year? Maybe he isn't a crossing manager and likes playing vertically into the box, says Joshua. And happy 6th birthday to my son, Nathan. You know what, Joshua? You've got me here. You've just raised a really good point, which I am going to answer right live on air. Well, I was. Let me have a look here if I can still do it. I hate that. Let's see if I can do it. Yes, I will be able to do it. Happy 6th birthday to my son Nathan, says Kevin. Sorry, Kevin, I sort of skirted the issue there because Joshua had asked a good question. But more important than Joshua's question, happy birthday to Nathan. He's 6 years old today. Happy birthday to Nathan. Hope he's having a great time. Should be bedtime. Well, it depends what country you live in, I suppose. But in the UK, we are about half an hour away from the start of this game. But let me just check this. So Nathan has asked a very good question. Nathan has asked us, what was Ajax crossing stats last season under Erik Ten Hag? And I have taken up that challenge. Now, currently, Manchester United, under Erik Ten Hag, we're averaging 12 crosses per 90, yeah? 12 crosses per 90. Last season... let me get this. Last season, Ajax. Oh my God. Okay. Now, look. I wonder if I do it in Champions League. Right, so last season under Erik Ten Hag, you won't believe this, right? This season under Erik Ten Hag, Manchester United averaged 12 crosses per 90 with a success rate of 28%. An accuracy of 28%. So 12 crosses per 90. 28% accuracy. Ajax last season under Erik Ten Hag, 24.6 crosses per 90 with an accuracy of 38.5%. That sort of answers your question of whether Erik Ten Hag likes to whip a cross into the box. Now, I'm just going to get rid of Eredivisie stats and just do it purely on Champions League where the competition is harder. Because as you know, Ajax in the Eredivisie are a very good side. Oh my God. In the Champions League last season, Ajax were averaging 22.3 crosses per 90 with an accuracy of 42%. So Ajax in the Champions League against good opposition were putting in 22 crosses per 90 with an accuracy of 42%. Manchester United this season are putting 12 in with an accuracy of 28%. I think you can pretty much figure out there the problem ain't Erik Ten Hag. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting. And Joshua deserves the credit there because sometimes if we'd gone and looked at that and Ajax were putting 12 crosses in, you'd go, well, he's not a cross. He doesn't like to put crosses in. He's about build up. It's the players. I'm sorry, it's the players. It's the players. It's not Ten Hag. It's the players. They're not very good at putting crosses in the box. I said this. Solskjaer had Cavani and Ronaldo, two of the best aerial strikers in the world, and couldn't put a cross in the box. Rangnick couldn't get us to do it, and now Ten Hag is struggling to do it. It's not the manager, it's the players. And you've got very clear and bright evidence there that under Ajax... somebody just said that Ajax had a tall striker. Well, who the fuck's Ronaldo then? Ronaldo says, hold my beer. What the fuck are you on about? Ajax had Haller. We've got Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the best headers of the ball. But that doesn't make sense because still put the crosses in and maybe it doesn't work. But we don't put the crosses in. That's what I'm saying. Whether we've got somebody who can get on the end of it, which we do, we're not putting the crosses in anyway. Also, how would you feel about James Ward-Prowse in January? Could be an Ericsson-type player to intertwine with big summer spending. Yeah, but Justin, I think Ward-Prowse is approaching 30. I think we need to, no, not for me. Also, so I've done that one from Justin. Rumours say somebody in Man United... Oh, yeah, I'm not going to read that out, Capitons, am I? I'd like to see Scooby-Doo get the start up front in honour of Fellaini, says Colin. And even if we do put crosses in the box, we can always rely on Rashi to close his eyes and balloon a header, says Nick P. We are terrible at crosses. Corners, set pieces, open play. We're absolutely terrible at them, and the stats don't lie. They're really bad. Ricky says, McTominay kept Fred out for weeks. McTominay just been suspended, not unfit. Why the hell hasn't he come straight back in? I'm raving mad, if you ask me. I'm telling you now, Mark. I'm telling you now. McTominay, he's been playing great. He's been playing great. Every week he's been playing great. He gets suspended because he's been putting his foot in. And Fred comes in. He's fucking rubbish. And Scotty comes back. And Fred, I'm telling you now, that Fred's shit. Scotty should be in the team. I knew it. And I don't disagree with Ricky on that. I do disagree with Ricky on some things, but I don't disagree with him on that. I was absolutely convinced that Eriksen would pass the fitness test, which he hasn't. And if he didn't, I thought McTominay would start. So I'm shocked. I think everybody is shocked by that. Sage, thank you very much for the super chat. Treble Champ says, I'm sorry, but Ronaldo would be offside 80% of the time. Whilst good when he's there, he's unable to find the burst of pace in the Premier League to get free and be onside. Says Treble Champ. Love you, Mark. Can you give me a shout out for my birthday today? Hope the boys give Spurs a good spanking. YouTube Domo, happy birthday. Or YT Domo. There you go. Thanks for the super chats tonight, by the way. You're very, 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 very welcome. I think we've read most of them, which is great. There are other games going on at the moment, if anybody's actually interested. I'm not massively interested, to be honest with you. I don't even know what's happening with United in the league. We're currently 5th place with 16 points. I mean, the interesting thing is the game in hand that we've got on Arsenal and Man City disappears tonight because they're meant to be playing each other, but it's been postponed. So we really do need to win this game. We really do need to win this game. 5th place, 16 points, and yeah, that's where we are at the moment. A few games have kicked off. Southampton are beating Bournemouth 1-0. Brentford are playing Chelsea 0-0. Liverpool are playing West Ham 0-0. And Newcastle are playing Everton 0-0. And that's where we're at the moment. Mark, Goldbridge's best rage. Okay, Jordan smoked something. Watched Mark Goldbridge's best rage moments when I was high and couldn't stop laughing. You're a goat. Greetings from Canada, says Jordan. Mate, wait till you see what I've been filming for the last 2 days. I'm really proud of it. And it's no porno. It's not like that. No, it's I'm really excited for it to get edited up. Nothing to say. Have a pint on me, says the Inquisition. Thank you very much for the super chat there, Inquisition. I really, really do appreciate it. Thanks to everyone who's become a new member tonight, by the way. We do have a few in there. Prince is a member. He says, no Ronaldo, I'm very sad. Matt's a member as well. He's done a super chat. And Sadiq says, watching Liverpool and West Ham. Thank you very much, Sadiq. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. You're very welcome on the United Stand. We're live every morning at 10 o'clock, every evening at 8 p.m. Watchalongs, match reactions, the lot. We're currently only 200 subscribers away from 510,000, so please do subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and get involved with the channel. Keep your chats coming in. Ronaldo made a hat-trick against Spurs last season. Wilfred, I don't think we've really spoken about that, and I do want to ask you about that. Ari, welcome to Members Club. Look, I suppose at the end of the day, there's something very easy to do. If we lose tonight, do you think Ten Hag has to fall on his sword? No, Connor. No, God, no. Kirash says, I love you so much, and your show's good energies for you, and always hope for the comeback of the GOAT. And how is Fred starting, by the way? Says Kirash. Thank you very much. Your one-legged Dublin friend, Jamie J. Carr, do you think we can win? Says Jamie. Yeah, I think we're going to win 1-0. I do. I think we're going to win 1-0. Right, I'm going to start a poll here. Would you have started Ronaldo? That's the poll. Yes or no? Get involved in the chat and let me know. Alexander says this is not last season. I haven't really mentioned this, and it's exactly for that reason that Alexander said there. Ronaldo scored a hat-trick last year against Spurs and we beat them because of Ronaldo. Like, we were shit in that game. Ronaldo scored a hat-trick. He won us the game. He did it against Norwich as well. Is that enough? Kirash, welcome to the Members Club. Is that enough for Ronaldo to be starting this game because he scored a hat-trick against Spurs last year? Yes and no. I agree with Alexander. And the reason I haven't really mentioned it till now, I mean, Gigi says absolutely not. I do agree with Alexander that last season isn't this season, and you can't live off last season. Having said that, I think it's a difficult one to answer because you shouldn't start because you played well last season. That's form can change, as we know. But the reason I would have started Ronaldo is because we're playing against 3 centre-backs, and he's very used to that, and he's very physical. But the other reason I would have started him is because of the fear factor. These centre-backs played against Ronaldo last year. They know that Ronaldo can do something out of nothing, whether it's a 40-yard shot, whether it's a header from a corner. Ronaldo can make things happen. And whilst Rashford will give them a different set of issues, I think Ronaldo will be very fresh in the mind of those Spurs defenders. So I do think it would have been an advantage to start him, but we'll never know. Ronaldo needs to leave. Career can't end like this, is major. But the club won't let him leave, mate. I put it on the Glazers. It doesn't matter if it's not last season. When the opposition coach says he fears you, not playing him is a huge relief for Spurs. Says Rash. Driving to work at 4 a.m, listening to the United stand. What more could you ask for? Let's go. United 2-1, says Red Smurf. Thanks, pal. The wingers are keen on scoring, and that could explain why crosses are not being made, says Sage. Yes. And you know what? You know, talking about the wingers, somebody said it in the chat and I completely forgot. Love you, Mark. Thanks for being my United therapy, says Christopher. Thank you very much. Some people said it in the chat, and I feel I must go back to it. Obviously, a lot of people have been saying, why is Ronaldo dropped, but Fred starts when Fred was crap and Ronaldo was, you know, nowhere near as bad as that. That's a fair point. But I did see somebody say it, and I can't remember what the name was, so I suppose I'll have to own it because I do agree with it. What about Sancho? What was so good about what Sancho did on Sunday? I mean, he started off okay and he fell away in the second half. And I thought Anthony had his worst game in a United shirt as well. Now, I wouldn't drop Anthony, and I probably wouldn't have dropped... Well, I probably would, actually. I'd have played Rashford off the left and Ronaldo through the middle. But, you know, it's not just Fred who had a bad game on Sunday. I don't think Sancho played very well. So, you know, Ronaldo's the one who goes to the bench. And there's a couple of players who I think are very lucky to start. Can't understand the lineup tonight, Rashi. Useless when Spurs park in the bus and Fred has spring toes. Ronaldo and McTominay should have started, says Connor. I know who should not start. Fred, says Baroon. Maybe bring Eriksen and Ronaldo on will give us the impact to win the second half, says Joe. And maybe Erik Ten Hag is thinking about the effect the Ronaldo sub had on the Arsenal game, saving him for the shift in play later on in the game, says Daniel. I'm really, really excited about this game because my big fear, and I don't think I've spoken this about Spurs because I didn't know Spurs were going to line up like that. I didn't know they were going to play 2 up front and then play 3 in the midfield. Robert McCormack says, in defence of Sancho, he never plays well. Well, I am massively intrigued about Ten Hag's plan because I don't see a plan that's going to work against that. I think that midfield is better than ours because Fred's in our midfield and Bruno's in our midfield, and I don't think Casemiro can do it on himself. Look, if Bissouma plays well and Højbjerg plays well and Bentancur plays well, they'll beat us because that midfield 3 is better than Fred, Bruno and Casemiro because Bruno's been out of form and Fred's Fred. So that's what worries me. How are we going to get hold of that midfield? Now, I know Eriksen's not fit, but Bissouma for me, if he can play anywhere near like he did for Brighton, this could be a really tough night for us because I think they can win that midfield battle. Doherty is a weakness. I'd like Sancho to get at him. Right back is a weakness for Spurs. Perisic, Anthony, I don't know how that's going to work out. But then they've got Romero, Ben Davies and Dyer against Rashford. I don't know how that's going to work. Kane and Son are playing as a front 2. Son doesn't have to track back. So that's interesting. How do Kane and Son, where do they attach themselves? Are they going to go 2 for 2 against Varane and Martinez? So I'm really intrigued about how this game's going to go because when Spurs play with a back 5, a midfield 2 and a front 3, Son and Kulusevski or Son and Richarlison do a lot of defensive work. Has Son got to do any defensive work or is he going to stay up there with Kane? Because that midfield 3 is going to work really well, I think, for Spurs. So I'm really intrigued. We're the home team. I'm really intrigued to see how this is going to go. Hi, welcome to the Members Club. If Fred takes a shot, goes wide and then smiles, I'm throwing my TV out the window, says Zhao. Regarding Ronaldo, people are obsessed with age. If you're performing on the pitch, then surely you play, and if you're not, then you don't. End of, says Mel. And Mark, is it not weird our technical high IQ players are suffering in this old Ollie Regen play style? Sancho, Ronaldo, Anthony, nothing like possession-based, says MWK. My boy is due to be born in the next 2 weeks, and my partner thinks she's having contractions. Can you ask Becca to wait until the end of the show, says Calhan. Time those... I've had 3 kids. Not actually. I'd be a medical genius. But no, I've had 3 kids. If those, keep an eye on those contractions, Becca, and if they go below 60 seconds, you've got to be gone in 60 seconds. Get to hospital, because once it's below 60 seconds contractions, it's time to get yourself in hospital. So, yeah. Fortunately, none of my kids came when Man United were playing. So, but yeah, if it's time to come, it's time to come. Do you think Aouar for 15 million is a backup Ericsson, as he's good passer, or Gravenberch on loan as he hasn't played for Bayern? Fian, I think Aouar would be more likely, but I don't see Gravenberch coming in on loan. I think Aouar has probably had his day, really. There was a time when loads of people were looking at him, but he never got the move. Kiriash has just gifted 5 United Stand memberships. Give him a big bit of love in the chat. Legend there, gifting 5 memberships. Cheers for that, Kiriash. Mark, why are you saying the club didn't let Ronaldo leave? It was well reported there were no offers for him and nobody wanted him, says Jez. Jez, who reported this? Who said there was no offers for Cristiano Ronaldo? Because it's not true. Even Roy Keane said he knows that there was offers. I know there was offers. Everyone knows there were offers. The problem was Manchester United wanted a fee for Ronaldo. There was loads of people who wanted to take Ronaldo on a free, but United decided they wanted a fee. Let's be real, McTominay isn't any better than Fred, and Ronnie is not in form yet, and even if he's on the pitch, he can't do anything without an assist, says David. So he's not in form, but he was probably man of the match against Everton a week ago. Okay. I think Erik ten Hag is thinking long-term and doesn't see Ronaldo in his plans, building a team around the younger players, says Ricky. Fred's 29 and out of contract in a year, so again, nice idea, but McTominay's 25 and under long contract. Why not play McTominay over Fred? 5,000, DC 5,000, welcome to the Members Club. After 30 months, how do I gift membership, says Ashley Smith. You click on the $sign and it will say membership gifting. But that's on desktop. I don't know how you do it on a laptop. Really? 15 minutes to go. It's a later kickoff tonight, I've got to say. Well, I don't have to, but it is a later kickoff tonight. 8:15. It was always going to be 8:15. It's on Amazon Prime in the UK, which is a bit of a pain in the arse, if I'm honest with you. But it is what it is. We are where we are. And I can't see my chat. There we go. Ref has been demoted after the Newcastle game. What the fuck's going on here? Get rid of your fucking hands, you twat. Ref's been demoted. Well, we still got an FA charge, didn't we? Which I think was disgraceful. Put Ronaldo in Fred's position. He wouldn't do any worse, says Brian. United's got this in the bag. Yeah, I mean, I tell you what. 74% of you would have voted that Ronaldo should have started. 26% said no. Fred smiles every time he messes up. If he did that playing with Hughes, Keane, Neville, he'd only do it once. Different times, rested up, build up. How much of this lineup is playing to Spurs instead of playing to our own strengths, says Ben. And hopefully Fred will turn into Fredino today. Well, he can't play any worse. I mean, look, we've seen this with McTominay. We've seen it with Fred. You know, they'll have a good game and everyone will say they're great, and then we'll go to Chelsea and they'll be shit. United win. I'm just going to do a poll here. United win, draw, or Spurs win. Let me know in the poll what you're going to go with. I'm going to go with the United win 1-0. I'm just going to be consistent with what I voted, with what I said in the preview. I have a lot of time for our defence, and I know a lot of people do. Not a lot of people do, but I have a lot of time for our defence. I think that it's been very solid, and Casemiro in front of it. I think maybe in the past, if we'd have been playing last season, I'd be very, very worried. But the way that we've defended with Varane and Martinez, I mean, look, and then Casemiro in front of it, I don't think we're a very easy team to score against. So yeah, I'm quite confident about that. I don't think we'll concede many goals. I really don't. Shocking, Ronaldo's been dropped for today's game, and it's beyond me why we haven't started McTominay over Fred as well. That aside, come on, United, is anonymous. And Ronaldo should start over Rashford, who has to play on the left. Both should start. How are we going to break them down, says Kiriash. And maybe Ronaldo's being rested for what would be the bigger game against Chelsea, or is there a pattern showing Ronaldo is no longer in Ten Hag's plans? Edward, you probably just made the best comment of the lot, really. I think you probably just made the best comment of the night. because even I've missed that. And I'm not saying I'm better than anybody else. I'll let you decide. But Fred will be Tottenham's best midfielder, says Tyler. And Ashley says, I give up, not available on mobile, YouTube app. Okay, Ashley, sorry about that then. I think you make a great point there. And you have to throw it in. Ronaldo started on Sunday against Newcastle. He came off after 70 minutes. If he starts tonight and Rashford starts off the left, who comes on up front? All right, you can put Rashford up there and bring Sancho on. And then you start him against Chelsea. That would be 3 games in 6 days for Ronaldo. I'm not saying it is the reason, but it could be a reason. It could be about rotation. I'm not saying it is, but it could be. Eric Ten Hag said Ronaldo had the convincement to stay on. Not Ronaldo had to convince Eric Ten Hag to stay on. It's just Eric Ten Hag language barrier. He says convincement a lot. I think he means Ronaldo was determined to stay on, to Shay. Thank you very much for that, Shay. Well, we've probably got some quotes coming in from Eric Ten Hag that I just want to read out to you as well, because he normally says something before the game. Okay. He has done. He said, the game is over 90 minutes, so to start, this is the best team. Tottenham are very comfortable from the back. Play out, so you need a good press. They have a good transition, high intensity, so we pick a team to match that with dynamic up front. Rashford was ill at the weekend. He was not available for 90 minutes. Otherwise, he would have started on Sunday. You saw at the moment, Marcus came in. We were getting more dynamic in the front, and that's what we need today. I disagree. I disagree with that. I'm probably in the minority, but I disagree with that. I don't see how Rashford would have started on Sunday when Ronaldo's last game was Everton, where he scored the goal and won us the game. So I don't think Ronaldo would have justifiably been dropped against Newcastle for Rashford after playing well against Everton. And I disagree that we were more dynamic in the last 20 minutes against Newcastle. I don't know where that's coming from, because I watched that game, as many of you did, and Newcastle parked the bus in the second half. We weren't more dynamic in the last 20 minutes. We were just trying to lay siege to their goal, and they were sort of like going, just pushing us away. So I don't see that. But what I do agree with is that we're trying to start this game energetically. And I think David De Gea mentioned this as well. I think that, and Ten Hag has basically said it there, he's going to basically tell Rashford and Sancho and Anthony and Bruno to press as a front four, with Fred as well, and try and make Spurs make mistakes. We scored 2 goals like that against Everton by capitalising on mistakes and quickly moving the ball into space. Anthony and Ronaldo. Most of our goals this season, I think over 80% of our goals, have been from mistakes and then quickly hitting teams in space. We did it against Leicester. We did it against Southampton. We've done it against Arsenal. We did it against Everton. So maybe that's the plan. I said I'm intrigued as to what Eric Ten Hag's plan is. Maybe that is the plan. The plan is to make Spurs make mistakes and hit the space. Not happy with the team, says Vinny, to be honest, especially Fred, but I'm going to trust Ten Hag and hope we get the win. Thanks for all your videos, says Vinny. Well, it makes a little bit more sense now, doesn't it? Because if he's brought Rashford in for pace, and he's keeping Fred in because he's tenacious. I mean, one thing I always do with every manager is, and it was hard with Ollie because he just didn't know what he was on about. But with Rangnick, I think Rangnick was the master of saying something and meaning something else. And I think Ten Hag actually gives a lot away about how he wants to play. And he does keep saying about Fred, he's good at the high press. And he obviously wants that high press. Now, is McTominay good at the high press? Probably not. So maybe that's the... Well, look, there's no maybe about it. The justification for picking Fred is because he believes that Fred's good on the high press. Now, I'm going to be very, very honest here. My big issue is I think that Spurs midfield worries me a lot. Bissouma, Bentancur and Højbjerg shielding a back five... I think it might be press resistant. I don't see Højbjerg, Bentancur and Bissouma leaving the back five so that we can exploit it with a press. I don't think the space will be there for us to win the ball back and hurt them. I don't think that will happen. I hope I'm wrong. It's not like Liverpool or Man City where if you can catch out their centre backs, you're in, because De Bruyne and Silva and Rodri might trust their centre-backs and want to move up the pitch. I don't think Højbjerg Bentancur and Basuma are really going to leave their centre-backs to get exploited. But we'll see. Eric Ten Hag said, Ronaldo, I've done that one from Shay. Thank you very much. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We're currently only 24 hours from Scunthorpe. We're only 100 subscribers away from 510,000. I'm only 6 double eggs from Torquay. And I don't know whether I will buy a diamond ring or a grill. But if I want to, I can add to my Premier points with cash in my hand. If I haven't got enough, and I am only 24 hours from Scunthorpe. I don't know where that came from. Please do subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. We're getting excited. We're getting excited about tonight. Is Zakaria hurt? He's actually on loan at Chelsea, which I didn't know. Isn't he class? What do you think, Mark? Why is he getting any time at Chelsea? Marcus, I think Zakaria is not getting any time at Chelsea because he was loaned in by Tuchel. DJ says we could play on the break in the first half and then bring on Eric and Ronaldo in the second half. This is why I think it might be a very tight, boring game. Because I don't know whether you've watched Spurs this season, but I have. They're bloody boring to watch. They soak up pressure and then they hit on the break. I've seen them do it at Forest, who are one of the worst teams that's ever been promoted. So I don't think Spurs are going to come to Man United and go, let's go on an adventure. It's Conte's big adventure. Let's go high line. I don't see it. And I even think if we go 1-0 up, Spurs will still keep it tight. So I just think that we'll be very lucky if we get a game where there's more than 3 goals. I'm expecting Casemiro to get overrun if the plan is for the front 4 to press, says Runner. Well, it also Runner, let's not forget, I've mentioned this a lot. It's very worthwhile mentioning again. The gap between the back 4 and the front 4 in certain games this season has been a gulf, an absolute gulf. And Spurs have got 3 midfielders. So if we have a massive gap between our back 4 and our front 4, because the front 4 could, with Bruno and Rashford and Sancho and Anthony, could press. If they bypass that press, they're up against Fred and Casemiro and there's 3 white shirts to get to 2 forwards. We could be in big problems. I don't think and it never normally pans out like this, so I wouldn't worry too much, but I think the formations are a bit of a mismatch. You look at United there, we're basically playing a 4-2-3-1. That front 4 will press. If they get past that press, they've got 3 white shirts against 2, potentially, because that front 4 is going to press a back 5. I think that on paper, I'm quite worried that their back 5 will deal with our front 4. Their midfield 3 will overwhelm our midfield 2, and then their front 2 will potentially go man for man against Varane and Martinez and be quite effective on the break. I think the roles of Sancho and Dalot are really interesting. I think we almost you've got 2 decisions to make. If they've got Kane and Son up front and they go man for man with Varane and Martinez, that's 2v2. It's dangerous. Do you leave it like that and say to your fullbacks, push on and overwhelm their defence down the flanks with Sancho and Anthony? Or do you say, don't push on and help your centre-backs against those 2? If we don't push on with our fullbacks, we become the defensive side. So massively intriguing. I think the formations are so different. 3 in the midfield against 2 in the midfield because Bruno won't help out. A front 2 against the back 4. Or will it be... Yeah, it's really interesting how this game's going to pan out because tactically I think they're 2 very different systems. I watch every day and have for 5 years, but this blind defending on Ronaldo is getting old. Think you know it deep down as well. Darren, I'm not defending Ronaldo, so I don't know what you're talking about, mate. I really don't know what you talk about. I've really not spoken about Ronaldo much, and I actually said I thought Rashford would start. I don't agree with it. I don't know what Rashford does for us against the 3 centre-backs. I would have played Ronaldo. If Martial had been fully fit, I would have said something different. Why would a club based in London loan a player to another club based in London, who is also a competitor for top 4, says Jack? I don't know who's done that. Mark, please break down Rashford's immaculate pressing this match for the Ronnie haters who think Rashford puts in a pressing masterclass, says the Gator. Mate, I don't know where this Rashford is a genius presser has come from. I mean, Rashford for me is a winger. He deals in bursts. You look at Rashford, he can have 4 or 5 big sprints and then he's recovering for 10 minutes. Putting him through the middle, people will get blinded by a couple of sprints and then he'll be like this, panting for 5 minutes. Rashford's an explosive player. He's not a stamina player. So I'm very interested to see tonight how Rashford can sustain a press for even 20 minutes. I don't think he's ever done that. So I'm intrigued to see how that works tonight, and hopefully it will do. Joskin says, I hope you've had a great day. It's the game between my favourite team and my dad's favourite, so come on, United, don't let me down, says Joskin. Don't let me down. Hi, Mark. Can you say happy birthday to my son? He's 26 today. His name's Connor Taylor. Great show. You're amazing, mate. Thank you, says Tracy Taylor. Big shout out to Connor Taylor, 26 today. Let's hope we can get, well, let's hope you're a United fan. And let's hope that we can get the win for you. I think we are going to win tonight. I'm going to go 1-0 Manchester United. Conte and Eriksen are just walking on together. Did they manage I don't think he managed him, did he? Did he have him at... Oh, he had him at Inter. Did he have him at Inter? I don't know. They must... It feels like they crossed paths, Eriksen and Conte, but I don't know. The honest answer is I don't know. I feel that they did, but maybe they didn't. I don't know. Don't let me down. Right, let's get ready to rumble. Let's get ready to rumble. We get ready. We get steady. And rumble. Everybody rumble. Right, I'm excited about this tonight. Manchester United up against Spurs. Used to be good games of the past. Remember the 5-3 at White Hart Lane? There's been a few. Been a few over the years. There was the Roy Carroll. Way over the line. You know what I'm on about. Way over the line. What else do we have? Nani. Remember that one? Moved all over the place. We've had some good games in the past, but I feel like tonight, Matthew, it's two defensive counter-attacking sides. If I said what a Spurs are good at, you'd say defence. If I said what a Man United good at this season, you'd say defence. So for me, this game has got written all over it 0-0. Liverpool are winning 1-0 against West Ham, by the way. Nunez scoring the goal on the 22nd minute. Newcastle are beating Everton 1-0. Almiron in the 31st minute. Chelsea are still 0-0 with Brentford after 41 minutes there. But we're getting ready to start this game. It's on Amazon Prime, if you're interested. I'm not a massive fan of Amazon Prime. I've got to be honest. It's not really my sort of cup of tea. I much prefer it to be terrestrial than streamed. But there you go. Bad feeling we're going to concede after Fred loses the ball because he's taken too many touches again. Says Joshua Bowater. Somebody mentioned the 6-1. I watched the highlights for that. I mean, I remember the 6-1 game. I absolutely lost my shit, didn't I? I really, really did. But you know what? I was watching the highlights for that game today. It's such a hard watch. Not because of the goals we concede. There was no fans in the ground. And look, we needed that football through COVID. We needed football. But God, it was shit. Mark, looking at that 3-5-2, I can see us in trouble. Tomo, I'm with you. I really think that this is going to go really well for United or really bad for United. And I don't know which way. I think that I'm hoping that Erik ten Hag is going to pull off a masterclass, because I'm going to say this before the whistle goes. Rashford as a 9 doesn't work for me. And Fred doesn't work for me. And the fact that they've thrown Bissouma into their midfield as well, and they're playing a front two potentially with Kane and Son, I think we could get overwhelmed here. I really do. But look, hopefully not. Hopefully not. And we've not spoken about the home crowd as well. So let's hope that that makes a big difference. And we're up and running here. The timer should be on the screen for you. It is. It is. We're up and running. We're up and running. Let's get ready. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We're only about 10 subscribers away from 510,000. Get involved with the United Stand. And straight away, Son and Kane are right on Martinez and Varane. That worries me straight away. They've gone with the front two. They've gone with the front two. Now, yeah. Clever move by Conte. They're going to try and dominate that midfield and play with a front two. And United are going to have it very, 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 very good, I think, tonight. Manchester United have to work very, very hard tonight. Whilst I'm a big critic of McTominay, looking at the size of the Spurs players, he should have started over Fred, Kane versus Martinez. Very interesting, says Toho. Yeah, I agree. Sorry, I've just got to sort my watch out here. It's a little bit wrong. Okay, that's right now. I was a few seconds off. Spurs kit is a 10 out of 10. Don't care! Alisson saved the penalty. Don't care! Yeah, this is going to be really interesting how United play through Spurs. Front two, midfield five. Basuma straight away. I'd fly my dragon into Old Trafford and Drakari's Fred out, says Maguire Slab. Well, it started off quite well for Spurs here. I think there's a bit of a system mismatch early doors. It's exactly what we said on the watch-along on this show, actually, before the game started. It looks like a mismatch. They've got two up front. They've got three in midfield. And we're trying to press them high up the pitch and we're not even there. Spurs have started off very well. We don't want any consistency here. Apparently Henderson played very well yesterday, says NFFC. Well, you did very well to win it, mate. I didn't watch it, but I saw the stats. Bloody hell, Brighton, at one point, I don't think you'd had a shot on goal and they'd had 20. So he must have played quite well. United with their first real attack. Bit of a mistake, though, by Eric Dyer. This is where Fred gets the ball into Anthony. He wants it on his left. Goes for the shot. Bit greedy. Still United on the attack. First real attack for Manchester United here. Cross comes into the box. Don't know why we're bothering that. Still got the ball with Delo. Turns. Still Delo. Oh, for fuck's sake. What is that? Panic. Stupid. That's a big problem for me with United. We get to the edge of the box and people would rather try a speculative off-balance shot than keep possession. It must frustrate Ten Hag. We do it all the time. All the time. We hit these balls that, edge of the box, it's not even on, and we'd rather shoot than keep possession. Bit encouraging from United there, though. At least we've had an attack. No Ronaldo, no chance. Why does Ten Hag hate him? It's so frustrating, says Lee Marsh. Thanks for the super chat, by the way. You can do that through the $ if you want. Spurs are moving the ball around very nicely at the moment. Got to say. Very well. Cross comes in, and it's a decent start from Spurs because Bentancur's got in a lot of opportunity to... Basically, because they're playing Højbjerg, Basuma and Bentancur, it allows, when you're playing a midfield three like that and you're all a little bit defensive-minded, two of you can say, you go, now you go, now you go. And you go and support the attack and someone's got to go with them. It's all about the structure, says Sam. Bruno was offside. David Lowe says, Ten Hag's got this wrong big time. That's a big midfield. There has to be an adjustment period for Eric. I think there will be mistakes in the Premier League, but I just think that... Look, Bruno's on screen, isn't he? When Bruno plays for Manchester United, and look, Spurs have had 56% possession in the first few minutes here. When Bruno plays for Manchester United, he basically plays as a support striker. He doesn't necessarily help the midfield out. So you're making it Fred and Casemiro against three midfielders, unless Bruno tracks back. And Bruno spends a lot of time trying to support the attacker. Look how high up the pitch Bruno is playing. It's like we're playing 4-1-1-4. Exactly, Joshua Bowater. And I really want to keep an eye on what the gap is between our back four and the front four, because it looks big again. It looks like we're playing quite deep again. Nice play out from the back there, from De Gea into Casemiro. Dalot gets it moving. Rashford doesn't get that. Ooh! Ooh! I tell you what, interesting there. Lloris came out from his goal. A Spurs player cleared it. Anthony went for a shot. It was easy for Lloris. It was off his line. But then a Spurs player put their foot on it and it deflected. And Lloris was worried for a minute. He was genuinely worried. Bit fortuitous for United, but the space was there. Yeah, I don't know what their defender's doing there, because Anthony's shot was crap, but the little flicked header by Dyer nearly caused a goal. United take the corner quickly. Don't shoot, Fred. Oh, it wasn't that bad. Straight at the keeper, but it was on target. It's never going. I mean, come on, it's never going in. We're cheering because Fred's just hit a shot at the keeper, but it was on target. Greedy Max Gamer says, my mum beat cancer. Fantastic news, mate. Great news for you and your mum. Love to hear that. United with a corner. Free header over the bar from, I think it was Casemiro. It was Casemiro, that one. So 7 minutes gone. Interesting. United basically playing the counter-attacking football. Although we're winning a couple of presses here. Spurs can't get out. Fred with a bad pass, but will pick up the second ball. It's an intriguing game, this one. As I say, it's nice ball out by De Gea. No, is that Sancho again? He's turned into bloody Lukaku. He's got the touch of a trampoline. He is giving the ball away a lot, Jaden. I don't think Sancho played particularly well on Sunday. You could argue that he was a player that maybe was a bit lucky to start. He's got to justify the start. Nice little play by Spurs here. We're trying to press them in, but they are working up the pitch quite nicely now with Perisic up against Dalot. Perisic with the cross. Martinez clears, but Spurs will pick up that second ball with Højbjerg. I haven't seen the Alisson penalty save, no. Apparently, Sancho's made 5 errors in 10 minutes, according to Alan, who's a member. Thank you very much, Alan. Second ball. Come on, United, you've got it. Seems like Eric's told them to finish those plays to avoid counter-attack, says Juan. If you were... How are we playing, Mark, says Beth. I think it's been a reasonable start. I'd say the momentum's with Spurs a little bit. We need to get a bit more possession. I know it's early days, but do you see progression in Rashford's game? Says Liam. I think Rashford's in the wrong position. I like Rashford, and I like him off the left. That's his best position. I don't see him as a number 9. Man United have begun brightly, but Sancho is poor, says Flawless Football. 10 minutes gone already, says Knife's cousin. Here's Dalot. Gets it wide to Anthony. Onto his left foot. You know he's going to shoot. Oh, he's at the foot of the post. That's what he can do. I'm actually very surprised by Spurs there, because Anthony cuts inside. He's got a wonderful left foot. The bend on it's brilliant, and it thuds. Oh, it doesn't. It skims the bot post. I wish Anthony would take on the defenders more, says Ben. That's his signature move, really. Yeah, obviously, he scored against Man City doing that. He's got very, very... Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, no, Fred. And then he gives the foul up. Mistake by Basuma there. That's a good play. Oh, well, that's our throw-in, surely. Jaden says, I really hope Ericsson comes on at some point. Thanks everyone who's watching, by the way. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We are 10 subscribers away from 510,000, so please subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Look at how many times Casemiro scans the pitch compared to Bruno. Bruno should be constantly scanning, says Reza. I need to stretch. I don't think I've even had a stretch in an hour. Scooby-Doo, I got my tartan pajamas on. Anthony's the next Iron Robin, says Min. I think United have settled into this game now. I was a bit worried in the first few minutes. Spurs had all the possession. United looked like they were struggling with the system that Spurs were playing, but it looks like we've adapted to it a little bit better now. So yeah, pretty pleased with how we're doing at the moment. Man United looking good so far, says Geordie. Yeah, we've settled into the game. We're causing them a few issues playing out from the back. Bruno's playing well apparently, says Robert Lawson. Sub Sancho for Ronaldo and Rashford to the left, says Dylan Thompson. I like the fact that the press is starting to work a little bit now. Spurs don't really have anywhere to go from the back. I mean, this is dangerous from Spurs trying to play out from the back. That's a good ball. Well done. Oh, second ball goes to Spurs here with Harry Kane. Nice ball out to Perisic. Son did the decoy run. You see about decoy runs. Now Perisic up against Delo. Gets away from him. Gets a goal kick. Good defending by Delo there. That's what I'm talking about though. Harry Kane gets the ball. Decoy run by Son. Opens up a gulf of space on the left-hand side. I'd love to see United do that a little bit more. Decoy runs out from the back. Niall says Bruno's been good, but he'll get the stick later. Mate, we're 12 minutes into the game. You can't start defending him after 12 minutes and saying it's unfair if he gets criticised. Let's see if he can keep it up. It's a 90-minute game. Good play by Basuma there. Nice layoff by... Oh, this is good play by Spurs. Very good play. Watch out for the cross. It's a crap one, thank God. I think Luke Shaw's just been smacked in the face with the ball. And nice to see that possession coming down. 51% now. 50-50 basically. It started off a little bit different to that. So good to see possession dropping back down so that United are back in this game. Got to get hold of the ball at half time. Ten Hag there talking to a coach. Spurs with the throw in. Starting 11 will go round, mates. Should go round anyway. I'll get the carousel going for you. It was on pause. 54% of you went with the Man United win, by the way. I went with 1-0 to Manchester United. Very, very equal game now. I think Spurs started off quite well in the first 5 minutes. It's settled down now. Emil, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much for joining. Don't forget to check out the exclusive content and you get your little badge as well. Harry Kane's done well there. Second ball. Come on. We're working hard. Spurs are pretty tidy on the ball though, aren't they? Got to say, I quite like the way that Spurs... I've not seen Spurs play like this season. Nice little ball there. Why have we not picked up the run? Cross comes in, header. Cleared away. Hold on, Anthony. Give him a pass. Give him a pass. Here goes long. And Rashford misses the header. 15 minutes gone. No real clear-cut chances for either side so far, so you can't moan too much. Anthony's miles ahead of Rashford, says MWK. Are you excited for the World Cup, Mark, says Sadiq? No, I think I will get into it when it happens, but I wouldn't say I'm, massively excited about it. It'll when it comes. Delo with the cross. I mean, fucking. You know what? In this first 15 minutes, we've actually put a couple of crosses into the box, which absolutely baffles me. We've whipped a couple of crosses in the box in the first 15 minutes. Daz says it's impossible being a striker in this system. Yeah, I don't think it's easy, mate. Tottenham's press is mesmerising, says Alan. I think Spurs passing has been pretty good. But as I said, put some respect on our defence. I don't think our defence is... Oh, Bruno probably should have hit that quicker, but keeps the ball. That's nice. Luke Shaw's got some time. Refuses the cross. Comes back to Bruno. Edge of the box. Not a bad ball into Anthony. Robert McCormack says it's annoying how good Harry Kane is. You add smiles to weary days, mate. Thank you, says Dylan. Thank you, Dylan. Right, here's Sancho. Ooh, he did quite well there. It wasn't that far being a cutback for Bruno. Mark Sadler says United shouldn't bother playing with the striker and just play with an extra midfielder. Liam says there's no decoy runs. Oh, we just don't do it, mate. Where's this press from Ronaldo? Where's this press from Rashford then? I just don't think we're very good at pressing. I mean, that was a shit attempt at a press. Rashford was jogging. Bruno was just running everywhere again. And Anthony has to come and then leaves a spare man. And what a ball that is by Spurs out wide. He's past one. Goes wide. I think it's Bentancur again. No, it's Doherty. That's what I mean, though. You go back to that there. You've got Rashford, Bruno and Anthony press, but they're not pressing together, and it's one ball into the fullback, and then they're up. They're up in our half. We don't press as a team. I don't care who you play as the number 9. We're not very good at pressing. Kenneth, welcome to the Members Club. Here's Delo. Look at how many players Rashford's got around him as well. There's like 4 blue shirts. And he's in the wrong place. He's drifted to the right wing. Where's the centre striker there? Now that's it. That's a good run. That's good by Rashford. Hold it up. Hold it up. Bruno shoots from 30 yards. The ball there was the first time cross from Shaw, but he looked and went, there's no point. There's no one in there. How come there was no football filling this week, says Dean? I think, I know why. It's because Ben was in America. Someone just said your club's dreadful to watch. I never said it was going to be a good game to watch. I think this is always going to be a tight game. It might not end up being tight, but I think if you were predicting it, I said 1-0. It's Fred. Good ball, Fred. Good save, Lloris. That was a good bit of play. You've got to say it was good. That was the best chance of the game. It comes alive. It's got to finish that, says Daniel. I don't know, I'd have to see it back again. I think that maybe the save makes it feel a bit better, but I'd have to see it back again. Free kick in a good position here. Romero going in on Fred. Definitely a foul. I'd let Bruno take this free kick. What are the white lines on the pitch for, says Tommy. You keep asking that. Somebody will help you out. I need to see the Rashford chance again. I thought he hit it quite well. Christopher McMuffins, thank you very much. Proper number 9 buries that, says Ethan Johnson. We are so bad at recycling the ball to each wing. We attack once, go backwards and then shoot from 35 yards instead of passing it wide every time, says Biyakov. Timo Rashford, says Mario. I think people might be being a bit harsh on Rashford there. I don't think it was... I need to see it back. I need to see how far into the box he was, because for me, I felt like he was on the edge of the box. Right, Bruno, this is your moment, Bruno. You can be cupping your ears. You could be doing that. Good save, Lloris. On target from Bruno. It was good. He simply isn't clinical enough. Ronnie then 1-0, says Scotty. Let's have a look at this free kick. No, it's not a great free kick. It's straight down the middle, to be fair, but it was on target. Corner for Man United. Haven't scored from one since 1962. Oh, another shot, another corner. Bit of pressure here for United. Crowd's getting up a little bit. Can't fault it. This is the chance. This is the time. Just turn the screw a little bit. Another corner for Man United. 5 corners. Wouldn't matter if we had 55. Good corner. Cleared away. Go on, whip it in, Bruno. That's it. First time. Yeah. No. Eric Dyer heads it away. Fred goes all the way back to the keeper. I need to see that Rashford chance again. I thought he hit it quite well. I'm not going to buy into what the chat are saying. I've only seen it once. Spurs just looking a little bit vulnerable for the first time in the game here. Here's Delo. Skips past his man. Whips it up to the back post. Luke Shaw. Good save, Lloris again. It's good pressure from United, this. We don't normally get this. Sustained pressure. We've had the Rashford shot. We've had the Bruno free kick. We've had a Luke Shaw shot. Brian says Casemiro is class, creates confidence to attack. So another corner for Manchester United here. We've got a bit of momentum going. Not normal that we get excited, sustained attacks, and we're getting that at the moment. Great pressure, says Nikos. Bruno tries something a bit different to Fred's. Never going to work that. It's like, envisage Beckham to Scholes against Bradford all those years ago. Bruno and Fred just tried to do it. It don't work. Good to see his work in the keeper, says Xander. Please do subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. I think we might have hit 510,000 now. United Stand live every night at 8 o'clock, every morning at 10 o'clock. Get involved with the United Stand by subscribing, bottom right-hand corner. Yeah, good save that. Good shot by Luke Shaw, good save. Roberto Claros with the volley, says Raphael. Thanks for subscribing, Isaac. We're playing well, says Dinos. I think we've played well for the last 10 minutes, yeah. I think we've settled into the game. I was a little bit worried about how Spurs have lined up, but they're not really getting the ball forward at the moment. So we are the home team. It's good to see us having a bit of pressure as a home team and not getting dominated. Bruno basically plays as a fucking striker, doesn't he? Let's be honest. I need to write this down. I know Joshua said it at the start, but Bruno basically plays as a striker. Nice ball. De Gea's distribution's been quite good so far. I don't think he's misplaced the pass. He's started the attacks. Here's Anthony. Played a lot better tonight, Anthony, as well. Good take by Sancho there. He sorted his touch out. Bruno's going to hit this. Not for me, Bruno. That wasn't the right time to shoot. I think he was having a shout at Delo there, who said he should have passed. Mark, seemed like someone from the team watched your video about the crosses, says Tumbleweed. Yeah, it's what United's all about. Spurs can't get out at the moment, though. United... That's a foul. It's a shame. Christine says, it'd be nice to have Ronaldo on these crosses. Bruno shouldn't ever pass, dribble or shoot, says Dylan. And playing well and keeping the ball well. We are playing through their midfield. Nice to see us pressuring our opponent for a change, says Shiram. Thank you very much for that. Get Bruno off us ASAP, says Matt. I don't think Bruno's having a bad game. I just think decision-making will take time. But this is where we need to get Spurs, because we've just dropped off a little bit here. And we've won it back there with Bruno. Decision making in the final third is nearly always the wrong decision, says Paul. Aside from that, it's been encouraging. We've got a bit of momentum here. We've got a bit of confidence going here. It's I feel we've got to score in this phase because we are the team on the ascendancy. Spurs can't get hold of the ball at the moment, and Fred's doing a lot of advanced running. We always see that from Bruno. Spurs' passing game has just fell apart over the last sort of 10 minutes. We've got to dig in and we've got to score. Like Kevin Shields says, we've got to score. Welcome to the Numbers Club, Dylan. We're in the ascendancy. We've got to score here because we've had some good chances. We forced some good saves from their keeper. Saeed says, are we even watching Man United? We're playing quite well. The ball to Shaw there. Luke Shaw. Oh, well, that was lovely play. Lovely play between Manchester United there. Casemiro. That would have been one of the goals of the season. It's Sancho to Bruno to Casemiro. Oh, my God. The way it's that. That would have been a bullet. Absolutely thuds it with his left foot. Deserved to be a goal as well. We've got to get this goal. Got to get this goal. Goldbridge ball, says someone in the chat. We've got to get this goal here. Well done, De Gea. Just got to... Sanjay says, how are we not scoring? Just got to stay... This is all part of the process as well. We're on top with a better team. If you're Ten Hag, you're just saying, keep going, keep going. Not every shot's going to go in. You're not always going to get what you deserve, but if you keep going, you will do. We're a better team at the moment. We're playing the better football. We've worked our way into the game. We're now dominant in the game. They're looking a bit out of ideas. Let's keep this momentum going. Don't let them get a foothold back in the game because it could swing. This game could swing. We need to be careful. It takes a through pass from Kane to Son for our heads to drop as usual, says Christopher. Bruno should have passed to Delo, who would have squared it. No wonder our strikers don't score. They basically have to create their own chances, says Reese. Yeah, I know what chance you're talking about there. The thing is, though, Bruno on the edge of the box is always going to shoot. But I do sometimes think one more pass is a good idea. Now, we need to be a bit careful here. Spurs are just passing through our non-existent press because we're having a bit of a rest here at the moment. But we've just got to... It's got to work hard because Spurs they've had a bit of free possession here to get right up to the edge of our box. That's a lovely ball out by Casemiro, though. Now Bruno's got some space and he would love to... Oh, Bruno. We had a break on there. It's a shame, but win it back again. Win it back again. Rise watching his first watch-along. Thanks, pal. I wish we were playing like that with Ronaldo, says Josh. Well, can we play like with that Ronaldo? Bruno trying to shoot, says Miguel. Keeper. Oh, well, you know, Casemiro, I think David would have had that. Casemiro's looking class tonight, says the Jeffers. We just need that goal. Passing game is really settled now. We've really settled now. De Gea definitely quicker coming off his line in the last few games. Great to see, says Ian O'Connell. I've got real confidence in that back five. I think they're playing confidently. They look secure. I think people seem to forget that we got a clean sheet against Newcastle on Sunday. I know there was a lot of disappointment, but we did get a clean sheet. Bad ball there, though. Opportunity for Perisic to bring it out. Spurs looking a bit lost at the moment, says Michael Talbot. It's all about the chances, isn't it? I think the first goal in this game is going to be key. It doesn't look like it's going to be the sort of game that's going to get 1-3 or 4-0, does it? It looks like the sort of game where if you score first, it's all about the confidence. Just realised half the team speaks or is Portuguese, says Kerr. I can't read the full name. Sancho's playing a bit too safe for Drew. Nice ball by Kane there. Plenty of men back. Sancho, Cam, Rashford left. Ronaldo striker, says Dylan. It's amazing how much better our defence is without Maguire, says Tom. Oh, this is all right from Spurs. Watch out for Son. No, it's all right. Son doing the Bruno there. Other teams do it. You know, Spurs have worked it to the edge of the box there, and Son's just thought, I'm going to have a shot speculatively. So it's not just us who does it. Dennis Taylor and Sir Alex there. Snooker player. We need to win this game by scoring first, says Brandon. Well, I feel like Spurs are just having a bit of play here. It's like you can't press for 90 minutes. It's very hard to do it. And I feel like United have we're just going through 5 minutes where we're not pressing, just probably getting a bit of a breather. Sancho is rubbish, says Anthony Jury. Offers nothing. And Sushrat says, Bruno's decision-making 8 out of 10 times makes you wonder whether United should get a new cam. Chelsea Buckingham says we're all over Spurs. I think we have been. I think the last few minutes we look a little bit leggy. It's going to take us time to be able to do it for 90. Adrian, thank you very much for the super chat there. But we've won it back here with the low. Lovely little ball out wide to Sancho there. Why isn't Bruno being dropped for being bad? It's like he knows he can get away with it, says Nathan Allen. Sancho's so good, says Lanky. Well, it's been a good half considering it's 0-0. I've got to say, it's been an entertaining one. Here is Anthony. Casemiro with the cross. Bruno wanted a handball there. It looked like it might have been. Well, no, Bruno's not complaining too much, so. I don't genuinely think Bruno's been terrible in this game. I think it's been a lot better than it was against Newcastle. Not clinical in the final third. We need a striker badly, says Ludo. Well, even Casemiro whipping that that cross in there, it's exactly the right early cross, but nobody's attacking it. Nobody's in the right position. You know, Casemiro's basically baked it blind. He's whipped the cross in, knowing that that's what you need to do in that situation, but there's nobody there to do it. Been watching along all season, says Koo. Appreciate the streams, Goldie. Can't wait to watch along for the Worlds. Thank you very much. I can't read your full name out because it's a rude one. Rashford wants a penalty. Not going to get it for that. Referee's looking right at it. We're not going to get that overturned. But another bad pass out by Spurs. We've got to start taking these opportunities. Casemiro, it's a bad pass by him, but we win it back. Bruno, back to Casemiro. Come on. Spurs are looking a little bit ropey here. Good tackle on Fred. Ref says play on. No foul on Spurs. What the bloody hell are Spurs do? We've got to score here. Spurs are so ropey. I don't know if it's a deliberate attempt that Ronaldo plays. We hardly cross the ball, says Desmond. They're giving the ball away so much, Spurs. We've got to take the chance. If it comes. Where are the stats? Well, it should be on the screen, mate. %52 possession, 15 shots to their 4, 5 shots on target. On top at the moment, United. Fred on his right foot. Very, very unlikely to score on his right foot. Even Romero just said, go for it. Yeah, waste of time. Doing well, but my main gripe so far is every time someone receives the ball, they slow it down and take a look, says Rory C. Ronaldo needs to come on at half-time and put Rashford out on the left. Spurs defence seems too relaxed. Ronaldo will get them with more crosses. United winning the ball high up the pitch again. Sancho lays it off. Delo, I would have hit it first time. Went for the later shot. I think he should have hit it first time. Caught a player in the face here. Old Trafford is rocking tonight, says Roger. Good one, Roger. Roger. Yeah, Delo has just knocked Dyer out. Smacked him in the face. Knockout blow. Ooh, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt. That's it. The TV is gone out the window, says Jawa. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Eric Dyer might be down for a little bit here. Smacked him right in the face. Right in the mush. This team press is fascinating. We need this all the time, says Luke. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Could be a concussion sub here. Got to get the goal. We've got to get the goal that this half deserves. Need Sancho to take on his man, says Don. I mean, having said that, I suppose play devil's advocate. We have played really well. Spurs have just been a bit shit, apart from the first 5 minutes. You missed what Anthony did against 2 players. I didn't. And absolutely love our back 6, says Jack Brown. Who's in the back 6? Imagine we played a whole match like the last few minutes, says Jacob. And not a chance we can play like this with Ronaldo. Best performance all season, says Treble Champ. Why can't we play like this with Ronaldo? I mean, I'm intrigued to know what football analyst genius you are that we can't play like this with Ronaldo. So you're basically saying that this whole performance is because Marcus Rashford's playing at number 9? Bollocks. Bollocks. I'm sorry. I've been watching football for many, many years. There is absolutely no way that this whole performance is because Rashford's up front. Not at all. Not at all. Imagine we played a whole match like this. I did that from Jacob. And not clinical in the final third, says Omka. Well, I was going to say that. You know, if I played devil's advocate, where's the killer chance? You know, we've been the better team, but where's the big chances? And that's the next step. You play like that, but then you've got to start to create big chances. If this was Man City, they'd have created 4 or 5 chances by now that were scoreable. The only chance we've really created that was really good was the Rashford one. I mean, Luke Shaw's was a good shot, but it wasn't easy. I'll take this energy and play, just need to be more clinical. Haven't heard the clinical part before, I know, says Sash. Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Step by step, I agree, the red. Ronnie has no mobility anymore, says GG. I am looking forward to seeing the Rashford chance at half-time because I don't think it was a bad miss. I thought he hit it well, but a few of you seem to think he should have scored. All of Ten Hag's signings are working well. He must be backed. I think that's the biggest statement, Kieran. 100%. Anthony's having a very good game tonight. Luke Shaw. I mean, there's another cross into the box. We've put, you know, it's so ironic. It's so ironic. Put so many good crosses in tonight and no one's there. Come on, let's get this goal before half-time. If Spurs get to half-time, it's an escape. Yeah, I've been very impressed with Anthony and Casemiro and the back four. I think Fred's done all right as well, to be fair. Bruno's been okay. Rashford's done all right. I'd like to see a little bit more from Sancho, but I think he's grown into the half. I don't know what Bruno's doing there. I don't know what he's trying to do there. Mark, I've got to say Delo has massively improved under Ten Hag for me this season, says Tom B. Him and Anthony could be our right side for many years to come. Thank you very much, Tom. Thank you very much for the super chat there. I mean, if you had to get Eriksen on at the moment, I probably... can I just shock everybody? You've got to take it game by game. If I had to make a sub at the moment, if I had to bring Eriksen on at the moment, I wouldn't take Fred off. I think Fred has been very important in the energy of the midfield. I would take Bruno off. And I don't think Bruno's been bad. I'm just saying if I had to bring Eriksen on at the moment, which I wouldn't do, by the way, but if I had to bring Eriksen on, I'd do it for Bruno. Another bad pass here. It's going to go out. Mark, would you want to do a driving with Goldbridge and have Dyche as the guest? Also, when are you doing a Man United career mode? Love the channel, says Million Hawk. I'm on my TUSFC career mode at the moment, which is tomorrow back at 3. I would do driving with Goldbridge with Sean Dyche, yeah. I'd bring it back for a special. Christmas special. Get him in a Santa hat. Oh, big bag of gravel. I think we've done everything right in this game. I think we've defended well. I think we've forced Spurs into attacks, mistakes well. I really do. They're really struggling to get out. I just think in the final third, we've probably got a little bit excited. We're like a terror biting at the heels tonight. It's a fun watch, but I don't expect Conte not to react to this at half-time, says Nick P. Yeah, they can't get Kane or Son in the game at the moment. And it's a bit of a shame if we go in 0-0, because I think that we've worked really hard and we probably deserve a little bit more. Spurs on the attack. Harry Kane, good save by De Gea. Another player goes down. And referee is now going to stop the game. Not been watching the watch-along, so apologies if it's been mentioned, but Rashford keeps dropping deep when we're attacking, giving nobody to aim for, says Rob. I think Delo's just caught one in the face here. Are there less crosses when Ronaldo plays because he likes to drop deep to be involved? No, Rory, I don't think that there are, because I think the previous super chat from there was well timed by Rob. We're putting crosses into the box to nobody. I think it's interesting tonight that we've put so many good crosses in. There's nobody in the box. Hi Mark, kind of confused that they don't cross the ball to Ronnie when he plays, but when Rashford's playing, number 9, they do. Yeah, Fimble, but there's nobody in the box when Rashford's playing. Can we get a Christmas story by Goldbridge by the fire? I love that. I love that. I need a fire. I saw only 2 Bruno mistakes. He should have gone long since on the through ball and short on the pass near the box. But what do I know? Says no. I don't think Bruno's been bad. I don't think Bruno's been bad at all. But I'm just saying, I'm actually paying a compliment to Fred. If I had to bring Eriksen on, and I'm pretty sure he will. If I had to bring Eriksen on, I would take Bruno off. I wouldn't make that sub. I'm just saying I wouldn't take Fred off. I think Fred's been fundamental to the way that we've got up the pitch, because I don't think the press is because of the front four. I think the press is working well because of the front six. I think Fred and Casemiro have been massively part of the team, and this is where people get mixed up. They talk about Ronaldo doesn't press, but Ronaldo on his own doesn't press. You've got to press as a team, and we have pressed as a team today. Sam, welcome to members. Thank you very much for the super chat. Need you guys to win. Need to extend the gap from Tottenham to us. Says I want candy. Thank you very much. So we're very close to half time here. We've got 2 minutes added on. Can Spurs, I would say, survive? Can they survive to half time here? Because I actually think Man United have been the better side. But what do I know? I think we have been the better side. I think we deserve to be 1-0 up. Fred's a pressing monster, says MA. He has been in this game. He's played well, I think. I don't know whether I'd give him man of the match, Mason. I think there's a couple of other Brazilians that might say deserve it. I think Casemiro's been absolutely fantastic in that midfield. I think Anthony's had a very good game as well. Rashford's too quiet. Fred's the only option in the box each time. Anyone but Fred to strike, please. Spurs won't come out like this next half, says Becky. Well, they might do. Spurs are quite... dull this season. They're on the attack. Referee, come on. Halloween story by the bonfire, please, says Connell. Not attacking the Stretford end first half tonight. Yeah, second half we're attacking the Stretford end tonight. I think that'll make a difference as well. I think it does make a difference. Oh, hold on. Son into Kane. Watch the overlap. Good tackle by Martinez. I'm surprised the referee's still playing here. Go on. Blow now, ref. Blow now. Half time. There it is. Manchester United 0-0 at half time. And I've got to say it, that I think we've got every reason to feel a little bit hard done by. Or have we? I look forward to seeing the Rashford chance at half-time. I really, really do. But I think based on that half, you'd have to say that Manchester United have been the better side. Look at the stats. Look at the stats. 52% possession is a little bit lower than I thought it would be, actually. But 19 shots to 5. Look, a lot of those have been mishits. You know, Fred on his right foot, etc. But 5 shots on target to 1 is what grabs my attention. We've had 6 corners to their 0. Passing accuracy is surprisingly similar, because I feel like Spurs have given the ball away. Look, to be honest with you, passing, possession were quite similar. But what we've done with that, we are streets apart. 5 shots on target to their 1. I think their 1 was the shot from Harry Kane, wasn't it? So, look, very, very good performance from Manchester United. Bring on Sancho, second half, says Ricky. It's been a cracking game so far. Only thing I'd say about the first half is that we need to put our chances in the back of the net. Love the content, Mark, says Harry. You know what? I stand by what I said. I think United will win this game 1-0. And I think we already could have won it 1-0. I'm not actually surprised. I'm pleased with the performance from Manchester United. I think there's been some performances better than others, but I'm relatively pleased with the performance. But I've got to say that I think that Spurs have defended well. I don't think they've passed particularly well. I don't think they've created well, but I think they have defended well. I think we've put them under a lot of pressure, but we have only created one big chance for me, and I need to see it back to see how good it was, and that was the Rashford chance. I feel that we've had a few speculative shots, which adds to the pressure. I felt the Luke Shaw shot on Lloris was brilliant technique and a brilliant save. That, for me, was the best shot and the best save of the game. I need to see the Rashford one back. We had the Bruno free kick, which was very centre. Am I missing a chance where you go, yeah, we should have scored? So for me, I think the Luke Shaw one was a brilliant save from Lloris and a brilliant hit by Luke Shaw. The free kick from Bruno was very central. And the Lloris, I thought Lloris made a brilliant save from Rashford. So for me, the Rashford and Shaw chances were the best. I feel that we need to do more in the final third. I think we've played really well up to the penalty box, but I feel like we should be winning the game. And apart from the Luke Shaw and Rashford chance, I can't really see a big chance where I go, that should have been a goal. I think sometimes we're shooting and we're getting a bit too excited. And I understand that to a certain extent. We haven't really played like this for a long time. It's been quite entertaining at Old Trafford. So I think maybe the players at times are getting a bit wrapped up. We've seen Fred shoot with his right foot. We've seen Bruno shoot from times he shouldn't do. We've seen Delo try a shot from somewhere he shouldn't do. I feel that, the extra pass needs to come into the game. Let's work the play. I also think we've put some good crosses into the box. But unfortunately, I think Casemiro's blind cross where he gets it and it's perfect to whip it and he's right to whip it, but it's called a blind cross because you're putting it into an area and then there's nobody there. I've seen Luke Shaw put a cross in and there's nobody there. So I think we've actually put some good crosses in the box, but unfortunately there's nobody there to get on the end of them. Best half we've had in years, and I'm not crazy, says Treble Champ. We could easily lose this as Spurs are playing the way we used to in these big games, says Aram. Best first half all season. Sancho's under par though, says Kizza. If we're going to play Fred in that position, he needs to be told not to shoot. A pass is literally always better. It's always a waste if he shoots, says Ben. And it's been a cracking game so far. Only thing I'd say about the first half is that we need to put our chances in the back of the net. Love the content, Mark, says Harry. I don't know. I'd have to look at the Rashford chance. I don't think that we need to moan about how clinical we've been. I think we need to be more clinical in creating chances. I don't feel that we should be drawing at half time at all. I think we deserve to be winning. But tell me the chances. Tell me the gilt-edged chance. I can't think of one. I think the Luke Shaw chance is good and it's a brilliant save, but I don't think it's one way if you say he's got to score. It's great technique. The only one I can think of is Rashford. So if I'm Ten Hag at half time, I'm saying, look, keep that up. They're really struggling to, get into the game. Keep it up. We're getting to the edge of their box very easily. But when we're on the edge of the box, just be a little bit clever. Take the extra pass, make the decoy run, make the space, because we're snatching at chances. And, Lloris has made a couple of good saves, but we need... The best shots are the ones the keepers can't save. Mark, Tom B said that Delo's improved. Winning the midfield battle today against the very solid Spurs trio. Yes, LJ, I agree with that. Rashford to left wing, Ronaldo as centre forward, Sancho just not doing well today, says Ara. And don't forget Casemiro's shot. Yes. And Anthony's shot that hit the post. Yes, Shahin. But you know what? Both those chances are speculative. They're brilliant, but they're not chances that you go, we should have scored that. That Casemiro one and that Anthony one would have been unbelievable examples of ridiculous long-range efforts. Look, I'm not being critical. I'm just saying the way I feel at half-time is that we should be winning that game. But where are the big chances? I still would say, if I'm Marcus Rashford, I'd still say I'd expect more than one chance from that half. It feels like I should have had better service. But look, I'm just going to keep an eye on this here. It's a lovely ball by Fred. Rashford makes the run. Yeah, he should score. He's closer to the goal than I thought. I thought he was on the edge of the box. He should score that. Yeah, he should. That's the chance. That's the chance again then. That's a massive chance for Rashford. We could easily lose this, says Aram. I've done that one. Side note, Phil Jones has played 13 games in his last 4 seasons, says RTB, and been paid 80 grand a week. David Sherwin's been a member for 3 months. I think we need Cristiano on. I don't know why Ten Hag don't play the best player in history, says Lil. And winning the midfield battle today is great, says LJ. Fred and Casemiro are actually doing well together on the attack, but haven't been tested yet on the defensive. Anthony's just playing with them, says Barry. Yeah, I think the standout players for me, I think it's been Anthony's best game. He just looks sharp. He looks confident. I think Anthony's been fantastic. I think Fred's worked really well in the system. He's a press monster, as someone said in the first half. I think Casemiro's been fantastic. I think Martinez and Varane have been very comfortable. I think De Gea's been very good under when he's had the ball under pressure. Delo's had a better game as well. I think Luke Shaw's played well as well. So I'm very happy with the back six. I think it's done a really good job. I'd say Sancho's been a little bit average. I don't think he's been terrible, but you'd probably want a little bit more comparable to what Anthony's done. Bruno has been okay. I think Bruno's been okay. I don't think he's had a bad game. Rashford's probably been a bit quiet. Lots of endeavour, and he should have scored. But apart from that, what's Rashford done? I mean, if I was Rashford in the dressing room as a number 9, I'd say, all right, I put my hands up. I should have scored that. But we've just been the better team for 45 minutes and I've had one chance. Come on, lads. I'm making these runs all the time. I expect to get 2 or 3 chances in a half like that. I'm the number 9. We're at home. The crowd's loving it. But where's the big chances for me, number 9? I need more. So I think Rashford's probably should have scored, but I think he's also got a right to say, yet again, I'm playing up front and we're not creating enough opportunities for me. Whatever the result, this is clear progress. Not playing defensive counter-attack the way Spurs are. Feels so much better. Martinez is pocketing Kane, says Aram. And no, I think we've got to win, Aram. I disagree with you there. I agree with the positivity, but I don't think we can sit back and go, whatever the results, I'm happy with the progress. We're not bloody Swindon. You know, we're Manchester United. You've got to go and win a game like this. Ronaldo would have put Rashford's chance in the back of the net, says Kirash. We need more of that Rashford chance. Simple pass between the lines, says Salim. Exactly. Love the content, Mark. Brighten up the week, says Sin. Thank you very much for the super chats. Welcome to the Members Club, Byron. If you want to join the Members Club like Byron, you get your badge next to your name with some exclusive content as well. Big up. And Sean says, hi Mark, love from Birmingham. Glad to be a part of this beautiful community. I suggest we put Rashford on the left and bring Ronaldo on. I think it's the logical change, Sean. I don't think it's the change I would make straight away. I'd give it 15 minutes. You know, we spend so much time analysing United, saying, let's make a change at half-time, let's make 2 changes at half-time. I actually don't know whether anyone agrees with me with this. I wouldn't change it. I think we've got momentum. It would be silly to make a change at half-time, because what if we come out in the second half and Spurs carry on like they were and we carry on like we were? We might go and get the goal we need. So for me, 15 minutes of that. And then if I was Ten Hag, I'd say if we're still doing the same things, let's have another 10 minutes of that. But I would go out for 15 minutes and see what happens. Mark, great first half. Just need that killer touch. Noting Eriksen pushed Bruno right and bring Sancho off. Could do that, yeah. What change of dynamics do you think Ronaldo would bring to the gameplay, says Pratik? Look, I think one thing I've always said, and it's the only thing I agree about in any criticism of Ronaldo. I don't agree about the press thing. I think that's ridiculous. But what I do think is, I do think that the team is more team-centric when you play Rashford or Martial. I think, and I don't even know if it's Ronaldo's fault, but I think when Ronaldo's in the team, it's almost like the players are trying to find Ronaldo too much, or Ronaldo's trying to get in the game too much. I think if we played like we did in the first half and didn't, almost trying to play to Ronaldo, it slows us down. I think if Ronaldo had played in that first half, I don't think anything different would happen. But we don't seem to be able to play that with Ronaldo, because there's almost like a barrier of, got to try and play Ronaldo in, or Ronaldo wants to get involved. I think if we could just naturally play like that, he would work, because there's been some crosses into the box that I think he'd love. But we seem to panic a little bit when Ronaldo's in the team. And I don't know whether that's just the status of Ronaldo. Freddie's playing not really nice right now. Should we bring on Eriksen soon or stick with Fred, says Akshay? Well, no, I wouldn't. I think taking Fred off would be a major mistake. And look, it would have been a major plus on Sunday at half-time, but you've got to play game by game, and Fred has played well in that first half, and he's been a big part of why we've won the ball high up the pitch. Now, I wouldn't be taking Fred off for Eriksen. I would be taking Sancho off for Eriksen, or maybe Bruno off, but not straight away. The scripting has been crazy. Wouldn't be surprised if they went on to win, says the Atkins Life. How does Conte keep getting away with this? Get Ronaldo on for a bit of killer instincts, there's Rodeo. And I think the first change is make, if we can't break them down, 20 minutes in, Eriksen in for Fred and Ronaldo in for Sancho, and keep the pressure on, says Barry. Welcome to the Members Club. Runa, thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. I think we've hit 510,000. Remember, we're live every night at 8 o'clock on the United Stand, every morning at 10 o'clock with the latest Manchester United news. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner to do that. Get involved with the United Stand. Jude says, can people stop focusing only on the negativity of Bruno? He played well. Look, mate, I haven't said he played bad, so don't bring me into my argument. If you want to get involved in that argument in the chat, that's up to you. I didn't say he played bad. All I said is Eriksen will come on at some point, and if I was bringing Eriksen on right now, I wouldn't take Fred off, because I think Fred is more important to the system. Nice to see Matan saying that De Gea was brilliant. You know what? I think De Gea against Everton was fantastic. I think he's been fantastic again tonight. His distribution is bang on. His speed off the line is bang on. Not really had any saves to make, but I think that's the progression of De Gea. I think normally last year you'd say, well, what can De Gea do? He's had no saves to make, but he's now becoming a goalkeeper, which is exactly the sort of goalkeeper many people want, which is you notice your goalkeeper even when they don't make saves, because the modern goalkeeper isn't just about making saves. Yes, De Gea is one of the best shot stoppers in the world, but what if you've got no shots to save? And yet he hasn't had any shots to save, but we've all seen De Gea's impact on the game. His long and short range passing have been on point. His speed off his line has been on point twice. So, it's good to see that development of De Gea. And those in the know predicted that there would be a development in De Gea. So, it's good to see it. Just around the grounds, Liverpool are beating West Ham 1-0, 87th minute. Brighton are 0-0 with Chelsea. Interesting. Newcastle still 1-0 up against Everton, and Southampton 1-0 up at Bournemouth going into the 89th minute. So not many goals in the Premier League tonight. In fact, across 5 Premier League games, there are only 3 goals, and 4 of them are nearly over. Mark, maybe it's the Brazil national team combination. Maybe it's because Fred plays well with Casemiro. Ronaldo for Sancho and Eriksen for Bruno, says Paulo Ramirez. Yeah, look, Fred was shit against Newcastle. He was absolute shit. Tonight he's been good. And I'm always a big advocate that when a player plays well, give them some credit. When they play badly, they're always going to get criticised. But I think he's played really well tonight. So I'll give him some credit. Because for me, I don't do agenda. I just do performance. Can we talk about how Martinez has Kane in his pocket, says Ben? I don't really do that sort of stuff, mate, because I think it's childish and it's only half time. And when Kane scores, you'll look like an idiot. I think Martinez and Varane have both looked very good. But to be honest with you, I think Son and Kane have been in a graveyard shift, really. And I wouldn't be saying that at half time. I would rather say Casemiro and Fred have been so good that Son and Kane have hardly had the ball. I don't feel that we've pocketed Son and Kane, because I don't feel that they've had enough of the ball to be pocketed. But there has been good performances from Varane and Martinez, and it's good to see that defensive line getting up high as well. That gap between the back four and the midfield is a lot shorter. Anyway, we are about to start the second half here, and let's get ready to go. Can United keep that momentum going, attacking the Stretford end? We're up and running for the second half. I'd take Rashford off Ronaldo around 60 minutes as Arima. Yeah, I think that's the logical thing to do. Perth, welcome to the Members Club. Thanks everyone for all your chats at half time. We're back running here. United 0-0. Bentley, thank you very much for the super chat. I nearly said Man United 1-0. It feels like it should be 1-0. Good point. I take it back. Don't want to tempt fate, says Ben. No, Ben, I know what you're on about. And I'm a massive fan of Martinez and Varane, but not at half time. And Martinez has just passed to Son. So, yeah, we've got to, it's a 90-minute game. And like many people said, they'd be very surprised if Spurs came out second half and played like they did in the first half. I think what we've seen, and I need to write this down for the match reaction, I think what we've seen is that when we press as a team, Spurs really struggle. But we can't do it for 45 minutes. There was times where we very clearly were having a breather, and then Spurs got high up the pitch. So, lovely header there by Martinez. Here we go. Bruno, back post Sancho. Yes, Sancho's got it. Lays it off. Fred. Goal! Manchester United, it deflects in. It's a dream half. It's Fred the Red. I think it deflects in because Lloris is nowhere, and Manchester United, right at the start of the second half, get what they deserved at the first half. It's Fred redemption. It's 1-0 to Manchester United, and it's exactly what we deserve from the first half, and it's a dream start to the second half. Again, it's a press that Bruno wins. Anthony lays it off to Sancho. Sancho lays it off to Fred. He shoots and it deflects off an outstretched leg of Eric Dyer and deflects into the back. But it's not Eric Dyer. I think it might be Ben Davies. I think it's Ben Davies. Fred's shot's going nowhere. He sticks his foot out. It's into the bottom corner. And Manchester United lead 1-0. It's Fred redemption. And it's inspiring by Eric Ten Hag, because none of us said that Fred should be watching this game. Should be starting this game. Dream start for Manchester United. 1-0. God, do we need that. Totally deserved it as well. And can I just get a clip up of this? Erik Ten Hag is our manager. Everywhere I looked on the chat, on social media, Fred should not be starting this game. And I said it as well. And this is why you've got to back your manager. And this is why Erik Ten Hag is the manager. Because when everybody's saying that shouldn't happen, he's got to be the genius that makes it right. Big shout out to Ten Hag, because that's why he's our manager. Brilliant. Inspiring. Inspiring. Redemption, says Ben Chappell. Yeah, and again, Bruno Fernandes, much the same as Everton, winning that ball up high up the pitch. Rashford. Oh, what a save by Lloris. Oh, that should have been a goal. That should have been another goal. Old Trafford's on fire here. We've got to go and get the second goal here. Kill the game off. Rashford up against Dyer. He looks like an old man. Oh, he gets the block in. But United will pick up the second ball. He's given offside. Rashford here. Oh, that's a great save by Lloris. People saying Rashford should have done better. Maybe he's not clinical enough. But again, I think Rashford's in a, look at what happened to him against Newcastle. Big chance, missed it. Big chance first half, missed it. Missed about 4 chances on that last Thursday night. But he's a chance magnet. Oh, God, what a hit. Harry Kane. He's won a corner. Up the other end. That is a bloody good hit by Harry Kane, and I think he wants a corner for it. David De Gea was beaten. They've won a corner for it. I don't think Martinez touches it. United are flying, Mark. Always nice to see the pathetic club get what they deserve for playing terrible football, says Bentley. Well, this is good for Man United now. This is very good for Manchester United now, because we've got what we deserve from the first half. But Spurs will have gone in at half-time feeling they've got away with it. And then right at the start of second half, you get that killer goal. And now Spurs aren't prepared like they would have been at half-time if they'd been 1-0 down. So now they've got to deal in-house on the pitch. And of course, Old Trafford is rocking, and United have what they deserve. Look, the goal was a little bit lucky. The goal was a little bit lucky, but I don't care about that. I mean, at the end of the day, we deserve to be 1-0 up. It's a deflected goal, but we deserve it because we've been the better side. It's a shit shot by Fred, to be honest, but actually, I think if he'd hit it well, he wouldn't have scored. It was one of those weird ones where he hasn't connected well with it and it's gone in. I think if he'd have hit it well, it probably would have got blocked or Lloris would have saved it. So, sometimes you need that bit of luck. Mark Potter says, stop saying we deserve it. Well, we do deserve it. We were the better team in the first half. We just spent 10 minutes at half time saying it feels like we should be 1-0 up. Good interception there. I think Casemiro might be getting booked. Yeah, and I agree with Reese. He's one of our members here. I agree with Reese that man of the match for them is Lloris. 100%. Fred, red, let's go, says Greedy. Casemiro's just been booked here. Feels a bit soft. That's what she said. Actually, she wouldn't say that, would she? Thank you very much for subscribing, by the way. We're only 200 subscribers away from 511,000, so please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Thanks for tuning in. Manchester United leading 1-0 here. Spurs really haven't created anything. United just need to box clever now. We don't need to press as much. We can conserve our energy and hit on the break a bit now. But I wouldn't invite them too much. Great to be ahead, but Rashi has gone. Timo twice, says Mario Franco. And we just don't have enough threat and consistency from our wingers, says George. There's always something lacking. We've got to become more potent from wide areas. George, we are winning. You might be on a delay there. It's on Amazon, Lewis. He's got Sky, he's got BT. He can't watch it. It's on Amazon Prime, mate. Not a big fan of it being on Amazon, but it is on Amazon Prime. I need a stretch. Casemiro got booked. I don't really think it was a booking, but referee's given it. Good kick by De Gea again. Rashford wins the header. But, I mean, Sancho did hit the assist. Good interception by Bissouma, but... I tell you what, ref, you need to be looking at that. Bold, Frankie de Boer ain't the man, says Nate. Arnautovic would have buried those chances, says IQ. Lovely play there by Delo. Bit of a bite. It's getting a bit tetchy out there. I think Bruno's just put someone on the ground and Bissouma's just gone in through the back of Bruno. Key 15 minutes here. It's bubbling up nicely. Ten Hag's getting aggressive on the touchline. It reminds me of Goldbridge ball. He's saying, come on, lads. Next goal's the one. Keep passing the ball. Keep expressing yourself. They don't want it. They don't like it up 'em. They don't like it up 'em. They're there. They're vulnerable, Spurs. Lovely ball out by De Gea there. Confident. The way he switches the play there from Shaw to Shaw is fantastic. Here we go. Bruno again. Nice ball, Anthony. Have a look for the cutback, Anthony. Have a look. He's going to go himself. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. He's on his left foot. It's a bit speculative, but I don't really think there's a pass on for him. He's had a very good game, Anthony. Martinez again. I tell you what, Ben, though, I'm not going to say it yet, but he is Sancho. He's got to stand him up and shoot. Oh, too easy to defend against there. Romero. This is it. It's just not sticking up front for Spurs. We're winning it back all the time. They're getting no relief at the back. Ollie, welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much for joining. There are other games going on tonight, by the way. You might be aware of it. Tell you what the scores were. Chelsea drew 0-0 with Brentford. Liverpool beat West Ham 1-0. Newcastle beat Everton 1-0. And Southampton beat Bournemouth 1-0, which means that the league table... Hold on a minute. Eric Dyer wants a penalty. It's a goal kick. I was watching for a minute. We tried to slip Rashford in. Rashford wants a penalty. Bruno wants a penalty. Let me look. Nah, not enough for me. I don't think it's enough. Not to turn it over. I mean, if the referee gives it, we'll get it. But you know, VAR will never turn a penalty decision over unless it's clear and obvious. And I don't think they'd say that was clear and obvious, to be honest. Premier League table at the moment. Newcastle are above us. No, they're not. No, they're not. No, it's as it stands. We would be in 5th place with 19 points. God, how are Liverpool only 3 points behind us? What's going on? Luke Shaw's been so important to how we played today, says Joshua Bowater. Welcome to the Members Club, Ollie. We've done that one as well. I think it could have been a penalty on Rashford. I just think the referee's never going to change his mind. Need this second goal now. They ain't going to score 2 against our defence. Tell you what, Bissouma's had a crap game. He really has. I don't know what Conte's done to Bissouma, but at Brighton he was bloody brilliant. And I think in this game he's been absolutely terrible. Aiden says that Bruno's man of the match so far easily. Why do I sense, Aiden, that you're just saying that to wind people up? Casemiro's just different gravy, says Lee. That's a foul. $100 subscribers away from 511,000. Please do subscribe, bottom right hand corner. Bruno has actually been excellent, says Luke. Would have been great to see what Pogba could have done with Casemiro in the same team, says Gareth. Oh, that's really going to wind people up, Gareth. Pogba, yeah, no point. No point. Apparently Speed's in the chat. He won't be very happy because Ronaldo's not on the pitch. Mark Speed's in the chat looking for you. Oh, what a cross. I tell you what. Speed won't be very happy because that cross should have been on Ronaldo's head. It's on Rashford's head. And again, it's a lovely cross by Fred. And, I mean, I don't know what... He's got to do better there. He's got to do better there. It's right on his head. It's not the real Speed anyway. But even if it was, he wouldn't be happy. Oh, that's a lovely touch by Spurs, but Fred's back again. Basuma's first touch has been so easy for us to get onto today. Fred's found his passport. Bruno's just caught one. Martinez, man of the match, says Kifel, pocketing Kane. Look, I'm not having a man of the match chat until we do the match reaction and we do the player ratings. But I like the fact that we've had Bruno's man of the match, Fred's man of the match, Casemiro's man of the match, Martinez's man of the match, Anthony's man of the match. Luke Shaw's had a great game. The fact that there's so many people being put forward, I mean, can only be a good thing. And I'm not saying anybody's wrong. Don't understand why we don't play these type of balls into the box when Ronaldo's on the field, says Asif. And first time I haven't gone to the game and listening to it with the community we are playing. Awesome, says Stephen. Yeah. But you know what? I predicted 1-0, didn't I? And I may well be right. Although it feels like it should... I've got to say, it feels like it should be more than 1-0. I think we've... the end justifies the means in many ways. I think we've been better than a lot. I think we've been more than 1-0 better than Spurs. Na. Right, we're back up and running now. Bruno's just got up from his head knock. Man United 1-0 up here. Be a big 3 points for us as well. I mean, look, you live in the future, you don't live in the past. And I'd love us to have got the result against Newcastle, because if we were winning this as well, we'd be going, 6 points from Newcastle and Spurs. Go to Chelsea with a bit of confidence. They've drawn at Brentford. If Rashford shot... Oh, God, Luke, I can't say that. We need to find an understudy for Casemiro and keep this position fulfilled. Shall I read it? He basically said, if Rash... No, I can't. I can't read it, Luke. If I've questioned it, I can't read it. Varane has been so important too, says Tommy. "62 minutes played. Manchester United 1-0. Still half an hour to go. Look, I've got to say, and if anyone's watched Spurs with me on That's Football when I've done a watch along, you'll totally agree. This is Spurs. This is what Spurs do. They're not good this season, Spurs. They tend to keep a clean sheet and score a chance. And they're not the Spurs under Conte of last season where they were creating loads of chances and looked really good. They're very pragmatic this season, Spurs. And thankfully, United have taken advantage of that and used the home advantage. And 3 big chances missed for Rashford. It'll be a max of 5 for me unless he scores or does something immense, says Rory C. Good point. It's only Tottenham bottle sauce, Mark. The big test is Chelsea. Says time is of the essence. Let's get 3 points here tonight before we start thinking about that. Anthony and Sancho don't take players on enough, nor do they put enough quality crosses. They're basic requirements from wingers and should be better, says George. Forget the man of the match. We've been excellent. I love Casemiro and Varane. They just ooze class. Love our energy. I just love tonight, says Wazim. He's having a good time. And Fred has done okay, but does this justify him playing bad in the next 8 games, says Brian. Drugs test Fred, says Wayne. Look, I think that you're never going to move away from the fact that, United fans, some United fans just are quite sensationalist. Like, Fred was abysmal on Sunday. He was abysmal against Ammonia FC last Thursday. He's been very good tonight. And suddenly Fred will be the answer again. Let those fans keep making the same mistake. Fred's not the future of Man United. He's not going to solve our problems. He's not going to make us win the league. But he has been a big part of why we've won tonight. But he is not the answer, because he's proven time and time again that he's not the answer. So he has been good tonight and he deserves the praise. But do I think he's a solution for the long term? No. He's had games like this before for United, and then he'll go and play absolutely abysmal. So who is the number 17? It's not the same player as against Newcastle. Is it Arya Stark wearing a mask, says Strutson. Credit where it's due. He's been good tonight. He has been good tonight. But McTominay's done it as well. McTominay's had brilliant games, and then you go, are you going to give him a chance? What are Spurs doing here? So at 65 minutes, he's not made any subs yet. I don't know whether I would make a sub. Spurs haven't made any. I think Delo has played well, Mark. I agree. I think the interesting thing is that Conte has got no answer to this, has he? He's got no answer to it. We've played like this for 65 minutes. He still hasn't found an answer. Fred's almost playing as a striker. What a pass by David De Gea, that is. Rashford's in. Way too wide. Goes out for a goal kick. What a ball by De Gea, though. What a ball by De Gea that is. I think he deserves a tweet. I'm going to do a tweet for him. No real saves to make. And yet, De Gea has been. I like this ref. Allows the game itself to be heard, says Flawless Football. I don't know who this referee is. I don't want to know who this referee is. If I don't know his name, it means he's doing a good job. Do you think we're taking short corners so teams don't counter-attack us, says Clinton, and need the second because we know what will happen in the last 10. We'll retreat and invite pressure, says Rory. I'm not an expert on tactics and everything, says Uncle Drew, but we've looked great today, organised and confident, just need to take advantage of chances. I think what's impressed me tonight is that Rashford's strength is his biggest letdown, says Lost. The big thing that has impressed me tonight is that, and I said it before the game, it was a mismatch formation-wise. And, oh, what a header that is on the front post by, I don't know, is it Varane? I think it's Varane. That header on the front post by Varane is unbelievable there because they're queuing up behind him. But here is Spurs again. Cross comes in. Great save by De Gea from Kane on the back post. Massive save. Massive saves. Kane's got a lot of time there. Their biggest chance of the game, and David De Gea was there. I just said he'd had a fantastic game without making any big saves. Then he goes and makes a big save. Everybody's at it tonight. Fred. Bruno. Yeah! Scattered! Bruno Fernandes. 2-0 to Manchester United. Game over. Do not forget the big fucking save by De Gea just before that. Because Harry Kane should have made it 1-1. And it's De Gea's big save. And it's United going down the other end. And it's game over. And it's not just Fred redemption. It's Bruno redemption as well. He's not been at his best for 6 months. He's just scored a very big goal there. Manchester United 2-0 up. Totally deserved. And Spurs heading back to Spurs or Tottenham or London with another empty bag. I don't know why people starting to say it might not be a goal. It's got to be a goal. It's a great finish by Bruno. Totally deserved. 2-0 to Manchester United. There seemed to be a little bit of something about the referee there, but I can't see anything. Kane was in an offside position. Yeah, well, that don't matter. Still a big save by De Gea. Yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Fred with the assist. 2-0 to Manchester United. 20 minutes to go. Perfect timing as well. Player ratings is about to come out. First time in ages, we're torn between lots of man of the matches. I can't wait for the player ratings on the Match Reaction League. It's going to be so good because I think there's been so many good performances. So many good performances. 2-0 to Manchester United. Best performance of the season so far. We've absolutely dominated Spurs in a way that I never thought we would. As I said, I thought that the formations were a mismatch, and actually it's benefited us. Them playing with a back five, a midfield three and a front two, I thought, you know, they could bypass us, they could get at us, and we've absolutely dominated them. Absolutely dominated them. Why would anyone want a different goalie? De Gea is the best, says Daniel O'Connell. Oh, it's just a shame we didn't play like this against Newcastle and get the 3 points. It says 2-0 on the score. No subs. You probably could make a sub now. I don't think Conte's got anything to complain about tonight. I really don't. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. We're very close to 511,000. In fact, we've hit 511,000. Thank you very much. Anthony winning another free kick there. I think Anthony's had a very good game as well. Frederick says, "Are Manchester United back?" No. Nate, get into. I'll tell you what. If we can go to Chelsea and play like this, I'll be very impressed. Best performance for years. Here's Bruno again. Nice ball out to Anthony. We've switched sides with our wingers here, which should be quite nice. We're not playing inverted wingers at the moment. Anthony's gone left. Sancho's gone right. See if they have swapped, Matt. You're right. Bruno shoots. Easy save for Lloris. Holds on to it as well. But I did say this in the preview, and I think it's worth hammering home. No matter what you think of our attack and how many chances we're creating, and we've created a lot tonight, let's be honest, we didn't concede against Newcastle. That defence with Casemiro in front of it is very good. I mean, we know about De Gea, but he's not really had to make any big saves tonight. His distribution's been very good. Varane and Martinez have been flawless. The fullbacks have played very well, and Casemiro have been brilliant as well. So I think that, we've attacked really, really well, and Fred's on another run here. Oh, it's a shame. He got his pass wrong, but... Rashford again. I didn't miss it. I'm going to watch it back now. Well, you can't criticise Rashford for that, because at the end of the day, it's his chance. I mean, he does skip past Diaz. McTominay's going to come on here now. No other manager has asked De Gea to come off his line except Ten Hag. He's adapted and keeps being world class. People should stop criticising a goat, says Mario Franco. And our first time seeing Ten Hag's brand of football, says L1. Scott McTominay's going to come on now. He's probably going to take Casemiro off, I think, just to give him a bit of a breather. He's on a yellow card as well. We need him for the Chelsea game. So that would be the wise move to make with 15 minutes to go. Be surprised if he doesn't do it, but... you never know. Rashford needs to mix up his shooting attempts. All about power shots to him, says Salim. Well, yeah, I don't disagree with you that. I think he could go for placement a little bit. Anthony's coming off. So Anthony's coming off of McTominay, I think. Had a good game, Anthony. No doubt about it. He's had a good game. So McTominay comes on for Anthony. Bruno will pick this up. I don't think he's going to bring Ronaldo on, I mean, I'm not that bothers me. I'm just saying if anybody thinks he's going to bring Ronaldo on, he probably isn't going to bring Ronaldo on. Shame we don't have consistency. We could be a real force if we played like this every week. Keep up the great work. All of United stands, says Michael Fetty. Well, the thing is, you just can't run away with it, can you? I did say after the Everton game, I felt like that was the formula to go and be successful. And then at Newcastle, we went back to being a bit inconsistent again. Tonight, we've played really well. What do we do at Chelsea on Saturday? So I think we have to take it game to game. I mean, look at Fred on Sunday. Crap. Look at him today. Really, really good. We've played really well. It's probably been our best performance of the season by a long way against the team that's in the top four. We've made Spurs look very, very average tonight. Beat Arsenal, Liverpool and Spurs were back, says Thomas James. Yeah, you won't be getting that from me. Too many false dawns. They say they're called Dawn and they end up being called Rita. But Spurs, I feel that Arsenal fans will back me up on this. I feel that Spurs have been cruising for this a few times this season. They're not. The Arsenal game was exactly like this. They just looked very ordinary at the Emirates, and I know they had a man sent off, but they looked very ordinary, and they've looked very ordinary tonight. I'd like Garnacho for the last 10, says Seb. Good tackle again, Martinez. Cleared away, looking for the long ball. Yeah, I'm getting excited now about the game on Saturday evening against Chelsea. That's going to be a real test now, because I think tonight we've shown some real quality that we can hopefully, take to Chelsea and give them a game. It's one thing doing it at Old Trafford, and look, let's be honest, we don't do it at Old Trafford very often. But if we can go to Chelsea and play like this and cause them problems, which is difficult to do away from home, but if we can go and do it and win, then I think that's a statement. We want to be in the mix for top 4, don't we? That's where we want to be, and to do that, you've got to beat teams like Chelsea. You've got to beat teams like Spurs. Oh, unlucky Rashford there. They're a funny team, Spurs. I obviously do my Talk Sport show on a Monday. Sorry, not on a Monday. I do my Talk Sport show on a Saturday night, and you get a lot of Spurs fans ringing in, and some of them are like, I can put up with the football as long as we're winning, and then some people are like, yeah, I know we're winning, but it's shit, and I think it's true. I mean, we're not here to talk about Spurs. I think Manchester United have dispatched them very, very well. But I'd be lying if I said that that Spurs are playing well this season, and I'd be lying if I said that some of their fans weren't concerned about how they're playing. But I'm not concerned about how Spurs are playing, to be honest. I'm concerned about how Manchester United play, and I think today we deserved to be winning at half time. We weren't, and in the second half we've gone and got the goals that really do justify the performance. It's been a good performance from Manchester United, and we don't often get to say that, do we? So I think we've got a lot of reason to be happy. And in many ways, I'm very happy that we're playing Chelsea so close after this game, because it's like, I think sometimes you can have a gap after a game like this, and you get a bit carried away with yourselves, and actually going into a big game straight after this gives us a bit of momentum and a big test. Those who are frustrated that we didn't do this at Newcastle, hold on. Bruno Fernandes, little dink. No, he's going to just round the corner. 3-0 to Manchester United. We're in dreamland. And Bruno Fernandes, who's had this, and I've said this, he's offside. Just cut me in full throw, ref. Yeah, he's off. I was just about to do a little story about Bruno Fernandes and, all right, he's not been good recently, but quality will always shine through. Is this going to be the start of something for Bruno? He's going to make 3 substitutions here. Basuma comes off. Absolute bullshit, Basuma, tonight. Very surprised by that. If you want to do your player ratings, by the way, links in the video description. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. We'll go through that in the match reaction show, so make sure you do that. Thank you very much, everybody. Cross comes in for Spurs. I couldn't give a shit about Spurs, to be honest with you. Spurs in top 4. They look like bottom 4. So Samuel, you know what? So many people would say that. So many people would say that. They've been like that all season. They've not been good. And a lot of Spurs fans have said that as well. 8 minutes to go. Manchester United, most important of all, getting the 3 points. I went with 1-0. We've been better than that. We've been better than that. A lot better than that. Sell Ronnie because I can't watch him on the bench, says Tracy. Look, you know what? That's just I don't even want to talk about it. It's a power play. This is a manager, basically. You know, it's a dangerous thing, and it works tonight. But this is a man. I've seen this so many times. This is a manager basically playing out a power play in a football club. And we've seen it with other players before. We've seen it with Arteta and Aubameyang, and Arteta won that. We're now seeing it with Ronaldo and Ten Hag. And I like Ten Hag and I like Ronaldo, and I refuse to pick sides. But this is the club's fault. The club should have let Ronaldo go in the summer and let Ten Hag get his replacement. And actually what they've created is a situation where we've now got a player and a manager in a power struggle. That never should have happened, because we could have dealt with this in the summer. But the Glazers or whoever in charge wouldn't let it happen. So this is a power play. If Ronaldo and Ten Hag were getting on, he'd have brought him on for half an hour in this game. There's no reason to, have him sat on the bench for 90 minutes. There isn't. This is just pure and utter power play, which we don't want to talk about because it's been such a good performance from United. You've got to find a good mix of positivity and realism after results like this. It's easy to get carried away, says Oliver, which is why it's so good that we've got Chelsea straight after. Definitely think Spurs have been getting away with playing like this. They should have lost to Chelsea if it wasn't for Anthony Taylor. Yeah, Jack, you're right. And fun fact, if we win this, it will be the longest streak without a loss for Erik Ten Hag at United. Also, big up for your opinions. Keep it up, says the Foo. I think Alanga's coming on it. Good performance tonight, but I fear that it will probably follow with a bad performance because this is the harsh reality of being a United supporter. I really want the defence to get the clean sheet. Really do. Alanga's coming on. Ten Hag's the manager. If he doesn't want Ronaldo on the pitch, he shouldn't have him on the pitch. Oh, 100%. But what I'm saying is the situation was completely avoidable. And again, it's about shit ownership creating a problem that a new manager doesn't need. Like, Ronaldo is always going to be a conversation now until at least January. And it should have just been resolved in the summer. Should have let him go. We're not going to win every week, are we? And when we don't win, people will go, well, this is because Ronaldo should play and stuff like that. So it's just, I don't want to talk about it because it's a distraction from what's been a very good performance from United tonight. Still a potential for a goal on the break here. United win a free kick. Delo's got to be in the shout for man of the match, says Dylan. What's the point of having kids around if Garnacho can't get in at 2-0 up? We need to develop these kids. Garnacho for Sancho ASAP, says Kevin. Ericsson and Alanga coming on. Man United destroying last year's Ronaldo's career, says Eddie. I don't want to get pulled into it. I mean, it is what it is. Like, he could easily have brought him on for 10 minutes if there wasn't a problem, 20 minutes, but it's a power play. I've seen it so many times. We've all seen it. This is about you're sitting on my bench because I'm in charge. Player ratings, links in the video description. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average, and we will go through that on the match reaction. Casemiro's come off for Ericsson, and Sancho came off for Alanga. So many man of the match contenders. When was the last time it was even a proper debate, says Paul. Exactly, can't wait. Imagine the chart show. Talking about that, what about the chart show? This week's going to be good. What do I want to do? Live day graphics. Start. So you can see Bruno with a goal over his shoulder, Fred with a goal over his shoulder, and then the arrows for the players that have come on. Stats carousel. Here's Ericsson. Into Bruno. I don't know where Rashford is. Rashford's still on, isn't he? I can't see Rashford on the attack. Rashford's still on the pitch. What a player Casemiro is, says Alec. I'm going to be very, very interested to see who your man of the match is on the player ratings, actually. Don't forget, straight after this show, we'll go over to the match reaction show. Mark, I'm disappointed with Eric Ten Hag. We might have played well today, but he was hired for developing youth, and look at the bench. He plays only his favourites, says Dev. Well, come on. Come on, let's put a. This is a manager that most of us wanted to be the manager at Manchester United, and he's a manager that's had his best game as a Man United manager competitively. So I want to see some positivity. I can't demand it, but I want to see it. I mean, look, lots of people in the chat are going, this player's played well, that player's played well. I think it's. Tell me a player who's played badly. Nobody's played badly. I think there might have been one or two average, which makes them look, a little bit off because everyone's been so good. But I don't think there's a United player that's played badly. Love Ronaldo, but backing Ten Hag 100%. So Ronaldo's just walked down the tunnel. Chelsea or United Saturday, says Quaz. That's a bad look. I mean, look, I love Ronaldo. He's a legend of Manchester United, but that's not going to go down well. I can't defend that. I can't. It's never a good look. If that's Harry Maguire, I'm going to go mad. If it's Bruno, I'm going to go mad. If it's Rashford, Martial, whether it's a player I like or don't like, you can't do that. You can't do that. It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to the fans. It's disrespectful to the club. But, as I just tweeted there, it's on the club. They've created this situation. Like Cristiano Ronaldo was our player of the year and our top goal scorer. He now can't get on the pitch because the manager's decided, I don't want to use you. But he wanted to go in the summer. So what the fucking hell do you want me to do? I asked to go in the summer. You don't let me go, and now you won't pick me. You're destroying the last year of my, one of the last years of my career. So I can understand Ronaldo's frustration, but we've just won the game 2-0 and we've played well. And I don't blame Ten Hag as well, because Ten Hag is the manager. I blame the club. I think the club have handled it badly and have created this power play now that it's only going to get worse. Sorry, but Rashford is not a striker. Ronaldo would score them chances, says Johnny. John O'Brien, thank you very much. Ross Knight says, love Ronaldo, but seems like he's always trying to be centre of attention. It is not a good look. We've just had a really good Manchester United performance, and we're discussing something here that we don't really want to. I'm just having a quick read on socials to see if there's anything about whether there might be a reason for it. I don't know. I'm struggling. No excuses for Ronaldo. No one could afford him in the summer. He signed the contract, so he has to stay, says Rodeo. Yeah, but Rodeo, I have to disagree with you. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, he has to stay for what? He won't fucking use him. That's the problem. We've got into this situation now where Ten Hag is making an example of him by not bringing him on in a game where, why would you not bring him on? He's the only striker we've got. Rashford's missed loads of chances. Why would you not bring him on? You're making an example of him. You can understand his frustration. I wanted to go. You won't let me go. And now you're making an example of me. You're showing me you're the boss. I don't fucking want to be here. I didn't want to be here. You don't want me to be here. What pantomime are we playing out? I think it's just a stupid situation, and we should have solved it in the summer. And now it's going to be a pantomime, which we've had a really good performance here tonight. Really good. Maybe he's got the shits. Look, I don't like it. I don't respect it. I think it's a bad look, but we don't need this sort of a pantomime at Manchester United. And I as ever, I blame the club, and I blame people like Richard Arnold and the Glazers. I think that ultimately they are the big problem at Manchester United. Yeah. Manchester United have won this game 2-0 though. That's the main thing. Manchester United win the match 2-0. We will go to all the drama and all the match reaction on all the player ratings. I'm going to be live in a couple of minutes' time over on the same channel actually. Player ratings, links in the video description. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. We'll also discuss this Ronaldo thing as well. I'll see you over there in a minute. Thanks everyone for tuning in.